Hello.
It's cool. So we're back. I'm seeing Yasser Shah now next to George Linda on the screen. Is that what everyone else is seeing?
Yes.
And
Well,
now,
yes, it's
yeah,
keeper running down with helmets.
yeah, yeah. And now Babar Azam talking to Hassan Ali.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're now back after the tea break. South Africa 179 for 6. The batsman at the crease are George Linda and Keshav Maharaj. As we see Hassan Ali come back into the bowling attack, I think it'll be George Linda on strike. I'll let you know as soon as we know for sure. So far, we've seen a 58 from Dean Elgar, who is the best of the batsmen so far. Aiden Markram was dismissed for 13 with a thick edge to second slip Imran Butt off the bowling of Shane Shah. Freddie Rassi van der Distel was run out for 17. Faf du Plessis caught by Mohammed Rizwan for 23 off the bowling of Yasser Shah. Quinton de Kock went for 15, also caught by Imran Butt off Nauman Ali. And Temba Babuma run out for 17. So 2 run outs in quite a low total for the South Africans. Amongst the bowlers, Nauman Ali has 2 wickets on debut. Yasser Shah has 1. Shane Afridi has 1. And Hassan Ali comes right arm around into the left-handed George Linda, and that's defended back to the bowler for no run.
Yeah, it was
good to be back with you guys.
Yeah, great. Hi, Chris. Hi, listeners. And Tim, hi. Yeah, it was a really disappointing afternoon session for South Africa. I mean, spin once again proving their downfall, but also, to have 2 run-outs in an innings on the first day, it really is unacceptable.
Hassan Ali in again to George Linda. This one's a bit closer to the wickets. Again, it's defended just to the man on the square. And again, there's no run. South Africa is still 179 for 6.
I'll try and be positive and say that everything that George Linda has done has turned to gold in a way. He really seems to be settled in international cricket. International cricket that doesn't seem to faze him.
Third delivery of Hassan Ali's over, again attacking the wickets. Very similar to the previous delivery. Very similar result, just defended into the offside for no run. And no matter what happens, we can always look over to the women's game, know that we've won that series and that we're in a positive position in that match as well.
Yeah, once again, the Momentum Proteas women doing better than the men's side, as they have for the last couple of years in general.
Unfortunately, we've just lost a few wickets there, but we're 132 for 4 after 31 in the women's game. Hassan Ali, and again to George Linda, again attacking the wickets, although this one's a bit straighter and played back to the bowler again, no run. So pretty good bowling from Hassan Ali based on what we saw earlier, and pretty circumspect batting from George Linda after the break.
George is just looking very solid. I hope I haven't put the rockets on him, but he looks very solid.
Yeah, I'd like to believe, it's for my own mental health. I need to believe that what we say doesn't have any effect on the match. I'll watch every word that I say, as the penultimate delivery from Hassan Ali is also defended back up the crease towards him for no run.
George Linda certainly has the ability to be an all-rounder at this level. He's made quite a few centuries for the Cape Cobras in domestic cricket. So, yeah, a bit hard on Vian Mulder not playing, but horses for courses, and in these conditions, a spin bowling all-rounder like Linda is ideal.
As this final delivery is a bit wider, played into the offside, and again, no run. So a maiden to start the third session from Hassan Ali.
Yeah, I agree with that. We went with the right team when you take in the conditions that we see, yeah.
And yeah, I guess we'll have to see, but although we were forced into it, I do like the idea of having Lungi Ngidi bowling rather than Tabraiz Shamsi. 3 spinners when the opposition's only chosen 2 spinners as the home side. Yeah, maybe they know something we don't, and 2 spinners is the way to go.
I think I would just like to disagree with you, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that Lungi Ngidi, whose pace has dropped quite a lot lately, and he's more of a bang it in, hit the deck type bowler, I think he's going to find this pitch tough going. And we've seen the Pakistan seamers, Shaheen Shah Afidi, a bit of a threat up front with the new ball swinging.
And I guess Shamsi would have offered something different as well to Linda and Maharaj, who are both bowling that left-arm orthodox, as we see the first ball from Yasir Shah just defended for no run.
Yeah, Shamsi is more your attacking spinner.
Yeah, Shah. And again, this one's a beautiful delivery straight through Keshav Maharaj, who's pretty disappointed with himself as South Africa lose their 7th wicket. Yeah, great bowling from Yasir Shah. That's sort of what we've grown to expect from him over the last few years. And South Africa looking a bit sad at 179 for 7.
Maharaj flummoxed by the googly there. Yasir Shah's bowled it a couple of times, and Maharaj went back on his stumps, and it had been a bit of an inside edge onto off stump.
Yeah, very good delivery, but you can see the frustration with Keshav Maharaj. I don't know if he felt that he could do better than that. And yeah, it's actually a duck in the end for Keshav Maharaj. It took him 11 balls, but yeah, in the end, gone without scoring. And he's the last of the sort of all-rounders rather than just out-and-out bowlers as we get into the paces now.
George has had a very good series into the T20, so maybe this will be the time for him to show those skills, so we can get as many as we can.
I think he'll follow instructions. Unless Mark Boucher is telling him to attack it, he'll look a bit silly if he starts swinging the bat around.
Yeah, Rabada and Nortje, the next two batsmen, both have the ability to hang around a bit. So, we just need to try and dig in here and allow George Linder to get the ones and twos and just try and grow this score, because at the moment, 179 for 7 batting first, it really is well below par.
Especially if you consider we got to over 100 runs for the loss of just 2 wickets. Suddenly we've lost them all in a bit of a heap. I mean, Pavuma and George Linder had a bit of a partnership, but other than that, they've been falling rather rapidly.
Yeah, and I think it's been soft dismissals really, and a couple of them have exposed, I think, how the South African batsmen aren't really comfortable against good spin bowling. It's a bit like a batsman who's not comfortable against the short ball, so he starts hooking at everything.
Right.
Some of the shots our batsmen have played, it's a bit like they've been in too much of a rush to try and get on top of the spinner and have got themselves out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at the score, but I am surprised, as you say, in some of the dismissals. I'm very surprised at some of the dismissals, particularly the run out of Rassie in particular.
Yasir Shah's first delivery into the left-handed Kagiso Rabada, who gets very far out onto his front foot, a textbook forward defense back to the bowler. And I think he understands his role here. You were talking about both him and Anrich having good hanging around power. They've both been great night watchmen for South Africa in the past, and that's almost the role they're filling here, just making sure that George Linder can bat around them. As again, Rabada gets out onto the front foot against Yasir Shah and just defends it into the offside for no run.
Tim, you mentioned Rassie van der Dussen's run out, and to me it's almost symptomatic of South Africa's batting today in terms of just getting a little bit ahead of oneself.
Yes.
Yasir Shah, and again, this one turns very well. Rabada does well to get on the back foot and just defend that up the crease.
Rassie had got off to one of his best sort of starts in his fledgling career so far, looked very fluent, and then really almost got carried away trying to take a single that wasn't there.
Shah, and again, this one hits the pad of Rabada, but it looks like it's going down leg, very similar to the dismissal that we saw overturned earlier from umpire Alim Dar. There's very threatening bowling from Yasir Shah. I think Rabada did well to keep them all out there. I think when he's on top, Yasir Shah is one of the most frightening bowlers to face.
And this is day one. Imagine what he's going to be like in the second innings.
Yeah, thank goodness we're bowling. Yeah, we're bowling last.
We hope.
Yeah, they just put up a big enough total. Goodness me. Oh, I guess you could take the positive. Maybe we'll be batting last if we put up 250, knock them over quickly, and force the follow-on. I don't.
50 all out.
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm not going to put all my money on that. Hassan Ali comes in with a bounce against George Linde. He tries to pull it. It just goes straight up over his head and runs away to where the long stop would be for 4 runs. I don't think it's where he meant to put the ball, but it does add 4 more runs to South Africa's total. 183 for 7. And I think those are the first runs we've seen in the session.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, T was 179 for 6.
So yeah, a maiden from Hassan Ali and then a wicket maiden from Yasir Shah. And then not a bad delivery there. George Linde lucky that his mishit actually went for a few runs there. Maybe he is trying to be aggressive, or maybe that's just instincts on the short ball. Hassan Ali, and again, this one's a fuller delivery, angling in towards off stump, and it's just defended into the offside for no run. Yeah, there we got a statistic there that in the last 30 deliveries, we've had 5 runs and 2 wickets, which is not especially promising. And that was a no ball, that last delivery from Hassan Ali. So you'll have to bowl it again.
Yeah,
only very slightly over the front line there, Hassan Ali. But enough that it's, I think, been called by the third umpires. He has to re-bowl it. Similar delivery, slightly straighter, which George Linde plays off his legs towards square leg, and they go through for a single. Mahmoud Rizwan does the fielding.
Yeah, it was just really rotten timing. No run out comes at a good time, but Temba Bavuma has run out. He and George Linde were just starting to form a partnership that was looking promising. They'd added 43 runs to be run out, and also, just a couple of overs before tea as well. It was just a really, really hammer blow to the Proteas' hopes.
With Temba, I think it's as soon as enough people on Twitter go, today's his day, that he finally has to go out. Hassan Ali, and again, third delivery, his first to Kagiso Rabada, spikes off the pitch slightly. Rabada still gets the bat to it, sort of dabs it down to the man at gully, and there's no run. South Africa, 185 for 7.
Can people start saying that about Temba when he's got 71 rather than 17? It seems a little bit premature.
But I always get that feeling. The only time I've called it, I think, was in that ODI against Ireland where he managed to get his 100. So I'm going to pretend that I have some sort of power over it. But really, maybe that's his game, ODIs. Hassan Ali in again, 4th delivery, second to Rabada, and again, Rabada just dabs it into the offside for no run.
I think Temba certainly... Sorry, Tim. I think Temba certainly has the game for Test cricket, and if you talk to the Proteas batsmen, they rate him as the guy with the best technique. And so many times he looks very comfortable at the crease, and then just seems to have those lapses of concentration, which would see him get out.
Penultimate delivery here from Hassan Ali. It's a very full delivery, which is just played to the man at gully by Kagiso Rabada on the bounce, and there's another dot delivery there. And maybe this is like me reading too much into it, being an armchair psychologist, but sometimes it seems like Temba himself expects to go out. He feels like he's scored too many runs, and he starts to get worried and plays those false shots, or just walks off when he hasn't touched it.
I think there might be something in that with delivery.
As Hassan Ali comes in again to Kagiso Rabada, just defended into the offside for a dot after 60 overs. South Africa 185 for 7.
I can't remember a 20 or 25 where Temba has scratched around. I literally can't remember a 20. I can remember lots of excellent 20s, 25s, 30s, but then inexplicably, somehow, it was a third slip, plays it onto his stumps. This is a straight one. But as you said, Kenny, he looks very good when it comes to the crease. He looks assured, he looks confident. Gets to that magical setting, and then gets out.
So it's a bit like Aiden Markram in that regard, also someone who can look good at the crease and then just gets something wrong and gets out.
As we see threatening Yasir Shah carrying on with his bowling spell here. This one turns quite a bit and is played off. George Linde plays it off his legs to the man at short fine leg and there's no run. 80 kilometers an hour, that one from Yasir Shah. And of course, yeah, he's turning it a lot. As you said, on day one pitch, it's concerning. And they're going to get the extra turn as wrist spinners compared to our finger spinners. This one, he comes in right arm over the wickets into the left-handed Linde. It's slightly down leg and played there for no run. I don't expect we'll see quite as much turn from our spinners. Yasir Shah in again. This one slightly wider. George Linde just gets on the back foot, dabs it down to the man who fields a point. That's Hassan Ali. And South Africa add one to their total, 185 for 7.
It's why
186 for 7, rather.
It's why I wanted Shanti to play. I know there's a lot of people say he's inconsistency, but if you've been watching him the last 12 months, he's a lot more consistent than he was when he had Tahir, having to compete with Tahir all the time. He's a lot more consistent these last 12 to 18 months, Shamsi.
So here's a curious one. He was never really able to do it in test. Every other format he made his own, but for whatever reason, test, he just couldn't. Because I guess, there's less space for those lucid deliveries, even compared to first-class cricket where he did well.
Yeah, good point, Tim. And, both Maharaj and George Linde, as orthodox left-arm spinners, are kind of in the same mould as Nauman Ali, who's done a good job for Pakistan here today. But you do feel that the wrist spinners are going to be the ones who are going to be the most threatening in terms of taking wickets.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to bring on Faf on day 4.
Faf and Elgar.
Yeah, as we see, Yasir Shah again, this one turns prolifically, but Kagiso Rabada does well to keep it out, just plays it to the man at mid-on for no run.
I can't remember the last time I saw Faf bowl. Probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Yasir Shah, and again, I think this one just defended back to the bowler for no run. I think Faf du Plessis was the first bowler to take fifers in consecutive T20 matches, which he did in a domestic competition ages ago.
He does have a phenomenal T20 record and was actually a key bowler for the Titans in some trophy-winning white ball campaigns.
That one's more flighted by Yasir Shah, and it's a lovely drive by Kagiso Rabada. It runs away to the long off boundary for 4. So first runs for Rabada, he moves on to 4 off 11 deliveries, and South Africa 190 for 7. Good confident shot there.
He does like to drive KG, and he has a very pretty cover drive indeed.
I think it gets spoken about a lot, that he definitely has his basics down well. Where he's just got beautiful form on those shots, on the forward defense, on the drive. And every now and again he does get his iron, and he can hit quite a long ball as well.
Yeah, I think that, like a lot of bowlers, he sometimes gets a bit carried away. One lovely cover drive, and he'll try and play another one to maybe the ball that's not quite there to drive.
Similar to Sean Pollock. I think he could have similar numbers to Sean Pollock if he really knuckles down with his batting. I'm not sure he will, but in terms of
this one's a widest delivery to George Linde, who just plays it through between point and gully, and it runs away for 4. South Africa 194 for 7. George Linde onto 35. Maybe it's it's because they've got similar builds, but I think of Rabada being able to bat in a similar way to Mitchell Starc, where the basics are there. And I've seen Mitchell Starc being able to swing the bat and throw it over the boundaries of the MCG with ease as well. And I feel like Rabada does have that in his arsenal. Mitchell Starc, one of those unlucky batsmen with the test high score of 99, similar to Shane Warne.
Yeah. For me, Rabada is more Starc than Pollock. I have to agree with you, Chris.
Yes, I think it's a fair comparison.
Hassan Ali in again to George Linde. This one shortish. Linde gets on the back foot. He pulls it. It looks like it's going to make it to the man on the boundary, and it is. He's caught finally for 35 off 63. Maybe lost his head a little bit there, George Linde. I mean, he's the second highest scorer in the innings, which is a positive, but probably not that shot at that time, as South Africa lose their 8th.
Yeah, another South African batsman getting carried away, and really that has to go down as another very soft dismissal.
Yeah, I guess the instinct always on that short delivery is to pull, but you've got to take into account the situation that you find yourself in, and try resist that urge to just put the man over the boundary. So, I mean, it was a good overall innings from Linde, but a disappointing end again.
Yeah, keep it on the ground. You should know the man's back there on the boundary.
As we see.
Caught in two minds there.
Yeah, perhaps if he had swung all the way, he might have made it over the fielder. Because, yeah, it didn't even get close to the boundary in the end. The fielder had to run in a fair bit. Anrich Nortje joins Kagiso Rabada at the crease.
Looked a little bit top edgy for me. George Linde getting out there, but I'm sure the replayers will show exactly what went wrong there.
So, yeah, although it's a very small sample size, I think that ended up being George Linde's highest score. He had a 30. No, he might have had a higher score against India. I know he ended up in the 30s there as well. Trying to get Anrich Nortje's numbers. Yeah, Anrich Nortje this is now his 930i. He has a batting average of 9.27. I get the numbers on my computer just as they put it up on the screen, so I've wasted my own time.
Yeah,
I can offer you the things that they don't. He has a first-class average of 14.45. Take that, SuperSport.
Yeah.
George Linde falling just too short of his career best 37.
Right, here's Hassan Ali, and again, similar delivery to what he bowled to Linde. This one to Rabada. It's a bouncer that Rabada more circumspectly just ducks underneath. Slightly more fiery, not quite as playable. It makes more sense to leave that one. Rabada's on 4 of 12. And that's, perhaps what Linde should have done. Even if it's, and Hassan Ali's been no-balled again. Must be the third umpire just watching that line, as he has to re-bowl that one. Third legitimate delivery of this over is just aimed at the off stump of the left-hander Kagiso Rabada, who defends it into the offside for no run. As we do finally see the replay of this short delivery, and at least high on the bat, whether it was a top edge, the bat spun slightly in his hands and definitely skied at quite a high angle off the bat. The fielder was able to run in. That was the substitute, Nawaz. Yeah, so an interesting over so far. 4-wicket no-ball dot as he comes in again. Hassan Ali to Rabada, who does what he does best and defends it into the offside.
Interesting to see what they do now. These two. Do they go and look for that bad ball? Do they go and show intent, or do they just pick off the singles?
I am still here. Just have to put my phone on ice again, or it won't let it charge. It's really a horrible cell phone. Hassan Ali in again, penultimate delivery of this over into the wickets of Rabada, who just defends it into the onside. The fielding is done by Hassan Ali, who throws it back at the wickets, but there's no run, no wicket, no nothing. 3 dots in a row with 1 ball left in the over. In the women's game, South Africa are 154 for 6, so a bit of a collapse after a strong start, unfortunately. So if you look at the batting order, 49, 58 at the top, and then just 2 more batsmen getting into double digits. With Laura Goodall getting the duck, Tamsin Brits getting 4, Trisha Chetty 7 not outs. Hassan Ali, another bouncer, Kagiso Rabada ducks underneath it, and that'll be the end of Hassan Ali's 11th over.
Looks like Laura's had a series to forget.
Yeah, no, and in the field as well. I was watching, I was doing some commentary on the MSL, and she was a very good fielder there, especially under the high ball, where she was captaining one of the sides, fielding it long on pretty consistently, and taking lots of catches there pretty simply. And then, in the most recent game, put in the exact same situation, it went straight through her hands. But then we also saw some beautiful fielding from Nonkululeko Mlaba. So it's been a mixed bag from the SA women's side.
What do you reckon, Ken? Do you reckon Rabada will throw the bat, or will we just pick off the singles?
I think they need to stay positive.
Yasir Shah in here, this one pitches just outside the leg stump of Anrich Nortje, and he defends out his first delivery of the series for a dot.
So they need to, take the runs that are on offer, try and rotate the strike.
Shah in again, this one slightly wider. Nortje gets on the back foot, goes for a slightly more flamboyant shot, but it's just picked up on the square. And again, there's no run there. He's 0 off 2.
But both these guys are good enough batsmen to not have to just slog.
This one flighted. It's a lovely delivery. The umpire's given it not out. It did hit the pad of Anrich Nortje. It didn't look too bad to me. I don't know exactly what the issue was, whether it was an inside edge. What do you guys think of that appeal?
From the way that Pakistan are reacting, I'm thinking inside edge.
Well,
Otherwise, hey?
The follow-up delivery doesn't turn very much, just that straighter one, and Anrich Nortje leaves it alone, and it goes through to Mohammad Rizwan as we see a replay of that appeal. And yes, thick inside edge from Nortje into his front pad. And that's exactly what Mohammad Rizwan signaled as well. Fifth delivery that Nortje faces is again just defended into the offside. Yeah, so this is how you want your tail enders to bat given the circumstances. Defending out the good balls, and the one bad ball that Rabada faced, he did play it very well. This ball again defended by Nortje and into the offside. A much faster delivery there, 88 kilometers an hour from Yasir Shah.
A little bit surprised that Pakistan don't have one more catcher close in, because if there is going to be a difficulty for Nortje and Rabada, it's probably trying to defend against really quality spin.
And we saw it earlier from Baba Azam. He was happy to have all those catches in when George Linder was there off the bowling of Naman Ali. There were, lots of catches around, and they've seemed to have given up on that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's true. Yeah, he has been attacking in general.
As we see Hassan Ali continue with his spell, he'll be bowling to the Kagiso Rabada. He's right arm over into the left-handed batsman, and this one just dies slightly on the pitch, dribbles away, almost on the wide line to Mohammad Rizwan for no run.
It says a lot about the pitch when the batting team is 8 down and you've got a paceman bowling and there's just one slip.
Indeed. Looks like both teams were right with their selections of 2 spinners.
Hassan Ali in again to Rabada, and he gets a thick outside edge, which is put down by Yasir Shah. It's not often you see the spin bowler in the slips. Normally it's a batsman there, and Yasir Shah, I don't know what he's blaming it on, but he put that one down. What was probably a reasonably straightforward slip catch. Very thick outside edge from Kagiso Rabada. Flies across, and his hands were just in a poor position, sort of almost crocodiled it with one hand above the other.
And they were apart as well. They were apart, so...
Try to catch it mid-clap, and they get another chance at it. Oh, it's put down again. Rabada dropped twice in 2 deliveries. This one's a shorter delivery, which he tries to pull, gets the top edge. It goes to Mohammad Rizwan, who touched it about 45 times before it eventually hit the ground. Yeah, really, really juggled that one a fair bit.
Yeah, off the glove, Rabada hooking, and it kind of looped above the wicketkeeper's head. He had a good few goes at it.
I do hope that Rabada's able to make the most of these lives that he's been granted. It might have even been off the arm of him, his arm. We'll have to see that again.
Yeah.
That'll make the wicketkeeper feel slightly better if it wasn't a genuine edge, but...
He certainly seemed to think it was an edge by his reaction.
And for the first time in 3 deliveries, Kagiso Rabada doesn't edge the ball. This one's just defended into the offside for no run. Rabada's on 4 of 20 deliveries. South Africa 195 for 8. Still 2 left in the Hassan Ali over. He'll be a bit disappointed. He's taken the 1 wicket, but yeah, a couple of chances there which should have been taken. Mark Boucher looking understandably concerned with the innings we've seen so far.
Quinton de Kock already in his whites, which is a little bit concerning as well.
And I've been reminded to go have a look at the tweets. So that delivery from Hassan Ali I've missed, but I think it was just another dot, not especially eventful. I don't know if someone else would like to do ball by ball, if someone else would like to do tweets, if there's any preferences.
I'll do ball by ball.
Perfect.
Last ball is over. Hassan Ali comes in, and it's played on the offside by Rabada to the close infieldsman, and no run, 195 for 8.
So a few things here. Josie Oak, who's also Woy Palm, formerly Durban Oak, says some commentators sound like they're talking with a thick sock over the mic as if they're phoning in a ransom demand from a public call box. It's not too different from what's happening. I think we are trying our best with our mics. It's just, yeah, everyone all over the world with different microphones. And he also asked what's happened to the jingles, which they're also expected to come back at some stage. I think Simon's trying to get on top of that because, yeah, we used to play jingles for boundaries and for the different bowlers and batsmen. We'll have it back eventually. And then Ravi Reddy asked what exactly transpired with Shamsi this morning. I recall he was a favorite for selection today, and that was a back spasm.
First ball of the new over from Yasir Shah. It's a flutter one in front of the stumps, and Nokia pats it back slightly to the leg side, no run.
And I'll probably save the tweets for after this over because Yasir Shah does get through them quickly.
Yasir Shah, second ball, and Nokia gets forward this time and just pats it into the ground, no run. Third ball of the over, and yeah, with a flutter top spinner, I reckon, and he's out. 195 for 9. The ball was a good, fast ball, and too much for Nokia as he's out for a duck.
Yeah, very similar to the one that just missed Keshav Maharaj, where they just got on the back foot and it took out off stump as they misread the spin of it. So I was talking earlier about South Africa might not be able to get to 200. It's going to be a close call here with us sitting 195 for 9. Anrich Milke in the end also gone for a duck, very much like Keshav Maharaj, but he took fewer balls to get there, just 9. Ravi Nair with the negativity says, so South Africa definitely bowling tonight. It does seem probable, but I'm gonna be blindly optimistic and say that Ngidi and Rabada will do all right here. Anis Mohammed said, Tahir did very well in India and the UAE. I think that he gets a lot of flack for that one shocking test in Australia. Which, yeah, I guess if you have a short career and one really bad test, it does ruin your numbers overall.
Yeah. What was it, 16 tests, something like that? I think you did a good record UAE.
David Midgley, he looks a bit more foolish because I took too long to read this. He said this 6 minutes ago, but he said Nokia and Rabada will do a Gillespie and McGrath double ton. Hashtag bold choice, hashtag like watching Bafana, hashtag desperate, hashtag doomed. He also says, as always, a measured approach from the team on Gorilla SA, the antithesis of the Aussie mic men. Yeah.
Comes out to bat. He played 8 matches with an average of 6.20 with the best of 14 not out. And Yasir Shah's delivery to Ngidi. Ngidi comes forward, blocks it out on the offside, no run.
David Midgley says, hashtag, this is after the 2 drops, hashtag catches win matches at Gorilla SA. And he also says, missing the Hassan Ali jingles. I wonder if I could, no, I can't get the jingles, but we'll work on that definitely.
Full ball there from Yasir Shah. and then Didi gets forward to it and blocks it into the ground. No run. As the shark comes in, a flighted delivery there outside the off stump. Once again, same result. Forward defense from Didi. 195 for 9, the end of the over.
Yeah, Imran Tahir is an interesting case. It's quite weird how fortunes have turned for spinners in Test cricket compared to ODI cricket. I mean, there was a time when in ODI cricket people would choose the most containing, most accurate spinner because you were focused on keeping the run rate down. And Test cricket was more the attacking spinner because you wanted to take wickets. But it kind of turned around where, I guess because, I'll just wait for this delivery.
And it's full ball from Hassan Ali, which Rabada locks over the middle, and it is 4 runs. Lovely shot there from Rabada.
We might just get past 200 at this rate. Yeah, I guess in Test cricket, it became a game where you were trying to build pressure so much that a guy like Tahir, who maybe used to bowl one loose ball and over, that would release the pressure and so reduce his effectiveness. Whereas in one-day cricket,
second ball of the over, it's a shorter delivery, which Rabada whips out to the boundary on the leg side, and he's going to get 2 runs. Now the good shot there from Rabada. Looks intent to score runs. And of course we reached the 201 for 9.
hooray! Yes, as I was saying, in one-day cricket, maybe the odd bad ball with sweepers on the boundary and that sort of thing, Tahir could get away with, and his ability to take wickets was priceless.
Yeah, I agree with all that. That's very true. And Hassan Ali's next delivery is a ball outside the off stump, which just dives and just goes through to the keeper. Very low bounce on that delivery. No run.
Pitched.
Those balls at the time seem to be outside the off stump of the left-hander. They seem to be just outside the 4th stump. Next delivery is a Yorker from Hassan Ali, which Rabada kicks out on the offside. There's no run.
On the spinners sort of playing the containing role in ODIs to now being the more attacking thing, I think that might just go with batsmen becoming more aggressive, and those bowlers that were once containing have almost become just easier to predict, whereas the bowlers bowling the loose balls are the guys more likely to get wickets. It's guys going for the variations. I mean, the top 10 T20 bowlers, I think 9 of them at the moment are spinners, and it's often the wrist spinners or the mystery spinners as well. Oh, beautiful shot from Rabada. I'll let him take over.
Short ball from Hassan Ali, which doesn't get up at all, barely above waist high, and Rabada whips it to the leg side boundary for 4, dispatches it with complete disdain. 205 for 9. Lovely shot again from Rabada.
Despite what I said about superstitions and not believing I can do it, I don't want to put the mockers on Rabada, but I feel like he's done exactly what he needed to do so far. He's defended all the good deliveries, but anything loose, he's just played beautifully. I guess he's had a couple of chances, and he's making the most of them.
Next ball is a little bit straighter on the stumps, and Vardy gets behind it solidly, and drops it into the ground, and there's no run. 205 for 9. End of the over.
I imagine that'll be Hassan Ali's last over for a while. Kagiso Rabada really taking to him in that previous over in wonderful fashion, but I think we're probably going to see spin at both ends now. And Chris, very true what you said about spinners in limited overs cricket as well. Just how important variety has come into the game.
And although we only have 5 minutes left in this session, I feel like my cell phone might kick me off early. I'm on 1% at the moment. So if I do suddenly leave, it's not something you said. It's
No
just
worries.
technology.
All good. Next delivery from the new over there from Yasser Shah, and Didi comes forward and blocks it into the offside. No run. Next ball is a flatter one, faster. I think it's a googly this time, and Didi tries to cut it, but misses it, and it goes through to the keeper. No run.
So they had the opportunity for review there. We saw the review come up, but they really must not have thought that he touched it, because there's only 1 wicket left. They've got 3 reviews. If they thought there was even a 5% chance, you'd think they would have taken it.
And the next one is out the stumps, and Didi forward defense, solid. No run.
As we've seen some of the variation in pace from Yasir Shah, as the broadcaster tried to highlight the setting up with the Nortje wicket.
Lovely delivery there from Yasser Shah. Too good for Didi in terms of the spin and drift. Goes through without any worry to the keeper. No run.
I have a horrible feeling every time Yasir bowls to Ngidi.
Next one is fuller delivery, no time to turn, and Didi gets forward to it and blocks it into the ground. No run.
Ngidi is certainly using those long legs of his to really plunge forward. So yeah, I think Yasir Shah has got a plan here.
Oh, darling.
Next ball is a googly that goes into his pads, but it's probably missing 5th or 6th stump, spinning so much. No run.
And that's another over survived. I wasn't sure we were going to get there, but we have. Yeah, so South Africa 205 for 9, and it's the first day of the first test of South Africa's return to Pakistan. Elsewhere in the world, in Durban, South Africa women's side are 173 for 7 after 42 overs. The 2 batters at the trees, Trisha Chetty on 18, and Masabata Klaas, who's back into the side on 7.
Hassan Ali's back in, not back, he's still bowling, which is a bit of a surprise. Comes right the wicket to Rabada. It's a full delivery. Rabada just blocks it into the offside. There's no run. Surprise, Hassan Ali is still on.
It's a mistake, in my opinion. I mean, I always think you should try and be bowling the bowler who the batsman would least want to face, and I think KG is quite enjoying Hassan Ali at the moment.
Second ball, Hassan Ali comes in, bowls it short again, and again Rabada whips it to the leg side. Ball trickles to the now to the boundary. They go, did they take a single? No, they didn't. Yes, they did. They took a single.
And even if you want to bowl a seamer, you'd think Shaheen Shah Afridi would be more threatening to these tail enders.
Absolutely, Chris.
So maybe you're just trying to show some faith in the man coming back into the side. Trying to fix his figures, 1 for 57. If they get to 2 for 57, halves his average. As we see sort of a catching mid-wicket moving around for Rabada. So I expect another short delivery from Hassan Ali. In fact, not.
It's a full delivery on stumps, which really drives the mid off, and there's no run. That was double bluff there.
Yeah, I don't anticipate, although, I don't know, unpredictable tail enders, you never know. But Lungi Ngidi, you'd imagine, wouldn't be too aggressive towards Hassan Ali, as he does go for the drive.
He does exactly that. He goes for the drive to a foolish ball. The ball bounces just in front of the short cover. There's no run.
He seems to be enjoying his batting though, Ngidi. Lots of smiles in between deliveries.
The fast bowlers always enjoy their batting.
bit of a novelty. And at least at this point, when it's the first innings, the expectations aren't too high. There's not quite as much pressure as there might be later in the match.
Hassan Ali comes in.
Oh, beautiful
and
shot.
Short ball outside the off stump. Giddy smacks it away with a lovely cut shot, and it goes to the boundary for 4.
At least we're putting the top order batsmen to shame so far.
Very poor delivery there from Hassan Ali. Too much width, too short.
And some beautiful batting from these two. I think, yeah, I'm going to disappear at the end of this over, but I'm definitely going to carry on watching this innings with interest. I'm enjoying watching these two go.
Final ball of the delivery, and over rather, Hassan Ali comes in, and it is patted back to the bowler. No run. 210 for 9.
Yeah, so after 68 overs, I think that'll be a change in commentary.
Yes, very good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much to Chris and to Tim and to Ken for your guys' work. In fact, I've lost all of them now. So we'll add Otto to the feed, and I think we'll have Chepo joining us a little bit later, although I think we did offer to give him a portion of this shift off. Otto, we're going to be going with your feed then, mate, because you are streaming, whereas I've got the TV feed. So I'll let you run some ball by ball until I know that I can get you on the on the same timing that I have. In fact, I'm joined by Chepo as well. There you go. There you go. Sheesh, this man is way too enthusiastic. He's got his Voice of Wits t-shirt on. Is that the radio station t-shirt, or is that a sports kit shirt?
No, this is the Ultimate Frisbee first team shirts.
Oh my word, look at him
Ultimate Frisbee. I'm not even joking.
Also, do you want to tell us when you get the first ball of the new Yasser Shah over, and then we can we'll go with you doing ball by ball.
Okay, yes, I'm watching Gide's cut shot that I heard you guys commentating on, the other team commentating on earlier, so I am well behind. Hassan Ali is about to bowl his last ball of his 14th over on my side here, 68 overs gone. How's my sound and everything there?
It's not great, but we're going to get you to do ball by ball until we're on the same wavelength, and then we will. I'll probably take over voice ball by ball then, where at least I know that it's done. It's been great to be back in Pakistan, hasn't it? I'm sorry that it's an empty stadium. It would have been lovely to have an enthusiastic Pakistan crowd, but maybe lockdown has given an opportunity for cricket to be reintroduced to Pakistan in a controlled way.
Yeah, no. The COVID regulations would definitely make it much more difficult for anybody who's trying to disrupt the game. So I'm not sure what the actual situation is like in Pakistan in general at the moment, but it's very, very nice to see the Karachi Stadium again. We missed cricket in Pakistan. I certainly did. Every time I saw them playing in the UAE, I would think to myself, geez, when are we going to get back to Pakistan to play? And now at last we are there. So Yasir Shah is about to start his over.
Chip, for this to work, mate, you've got to not watch what's going on until we get Otto onto the feed. Yeah, carry on, Otto.
I'm so sorry.
No worries there. So 210 for 9 at the end of the 68th over here on my feed. So just to bring you guys up to speed there, and wherever you are listening from, or if you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, Yasir Shah around the wicket to Rakhis Rabada whips this off his pads into the man at short square leg, and there's no run. They've got a slip as well here for Yasir Shah. He's about to bowl the second ball now. 210 for 9 is the score. Little bit of a collapse there by South Africa. Yasir Shah around the wicket to Rabada, covers this outside off stump well. Does Rabada, blocks it back out to the offside, and there's no run again. and quite disappointing.
I mean, I wasn't happy at all with Pakistan playing in the UAE. I understand why it happened, because I suppose UAE was basically paying them to go there.
Nice shot there by KG, down on one knee and put on the boundary, but Shahid Shah Afridi stepped over the line and he signals to the umpire that it was a 6. He didn't quite get the ball out of his hands. Lucky escape for Kagiso Rabada. Great looking shot. But straight to the man standing on the boundary. He's got a smile on his face. He's enjoying this with his mate Ngidi. So that will be a 6. The umpire Alimna is just going to have the TV people check this for him to make sure that it was in fact a 6 and not a catch. He's signaling now, and soft signal is not out. So even though Shahid Shah Afridi indicated that it wasn't a catch, it was in fact a 6. The umpires are not taking his word for it. They are going to check this now. They're getting the ball back. So he catches the ball high above his head, and as he regains his balance, he steps over the line. So that'll be not out, and it'll be 6 runs to Kagiso Rabada. He will move on to 21. The score 216 for 9. But a really magnificent shot there by Kagiso.
Yeah, he got sort of underneath it and really lofted. I mean, it was naughty to be trying to take on the man at long on there, though. I mean, that if he had a hold out there, it would have not been considered good cricket at all.
Yes, absolutely. Another block there by Kagiso outside his off stump. He just got enough on it to carry it over mid on. That is where the catch was taken. And Shahid Shah Afridi, just with his second step, and after stepping over the boundary, he threw the ball up in there. Another booming drive by Kagiso Rabada, but the ball beats the bat through to the keeper for no run. It was wide enough outside off stump for Rabada to have a go. There was an attempt at stumping as well, but his back foot was well down as he goes down on one knee again.
Cool. I'm now in time with you, Chepo. Are you in time with Otto as well?
I stopped after my reaction. So, yes.
So I'm going to
Yasir Shah in again, blocked, no run. 216 for 9.
Okay, so in fact, Otto, your speed is fine, sounding okay now. So you're happy to, if you're happy to, you can carry on doing ball by ball. Yeah, Yasir Shah's bowled very, very well here as he gets to the end of his over there. South Africa 216 for 9 after 69 overs, and Ngidi 4 of 13. But Rabada definitely, I think, deciding to make hay here. He's 21 of 36. And I don't think having a huge amount of faith in his batting partner to last. So he's trying to hit out while he can.
We have a tweet here from Lee, who also doesn't have much faith in the Pakistanis. In fact, she says this game is not lost yet. If there's any team to out-collapse South Africa and a South African performance, it's this Pakistani team. Well, we'll see. We'll see, because you can only tell how good the pitch is or how quality the quality of the team once they've actually batted. I definitely want to see Baba Azam in the middle. I missed him in New Zealand, Oaks.
Shahid Shah Afridi is replacing. He's into the attack. He bowls this one outside off stump, blocked by Ngidi along the ground, past the second slip, in between second slip and gully. And it goes down to the boundary for 4 to Ngidi. He's on 8 now, 14. And the score is 220 for 9. That was a decent outside edge. Not a great shot there by Ntini, and just a thick enough edge to let it go through as Shahid Shah Afridi is coming in again around the wicket to Lungi Ngidi. At the top of his mark now is Afridi. Left-handed round the wicket to the right-handed Ngidi on middle and leg, whipped off his pad by Ngidi and given out. He missed that ball and struck him on his pads. Ngidi is immediately referring. I think he must have had some bat on that, or is just referring for the sake of it, because South Africa do have 3 reviews remaining.
I wasn't convinced by that as a decision, to be honest.
Neither was I. It looked like it was going down leg. Easy.
Yeah, so I was
armchair umpiring that we got.
Definitely going down leg. Yeah, it pitches just outside.
Actually,
in line with off stump, and it hits him middle and leg on the front foot as he's got himself in a bit of a knot. They're playing all around that ball.
Yeah,
Was
he got
no
his front foot
contact with the bat.
quite a long way across, so there's no inside
Mm.
edge. It hits him very, very low down, almost on the ankle of his front foot. He's trapped on the crease. I think actually the umpire might have got this right.
Agreed.
Yeah,
That
that's
looks like
going on
very
to
out.
hit leg stump, and it will have to miss leg stump completely because the on-field decision was, or the original decision was out, and Ngidi referred it. Let's see what they say here. Everybody's waiting for the ball tracker, which is there now. Pitches outside, off stump, and umpire's call. It is on leg stump. It would have hit leg stump almost the middle of the ball, so almost half of the ball hitting the stump there. That is the end of South Africa's innings. 20 all out after 69.2 overs. Shaheen Shah Afridi will finish with 2 wickets for 49 runs off 11.2 overs. Run rate was 3.17. And can one of you guys take us through the scorecard there, please?
Yeah, I will indeed. I'll take you through the scorecard, and then perhaps Chapo can give us a couple of tweets that have come through. So South Africa won the toss, decided to bat, and really hadn't gone on very long. In fact, it was the end of the fifth over when Aiden Markram had a bit of a flash at one outside the off stump, and a very, very good diving catch by Babar Azam. By Imran Butt rather. Who dived across from second slip and took a good catch. That was bowled by Shaheen Afridi. He went for 13. Then Rassie van der Dussen and Dean Elgar got going together. They took the score on to 63 before a bit of a comical run out, really. Rassie van der Dussen being sent back, dropped his bat, and he dived towards the wickets from the one side, while the wicketkeeper Rizwan dived from the other side. It'll make a great press photograph if there's someone there side on. And he was run out for 17. That was 63 for 2. Faf du Plessis came out to join Dean Elgar before he was caught behind, bowled by Yasser Shah for 23. The score then 108 for 3. Quinton de Kock came and went, and he was caught by Imran Butt again, bowled Nauman Ali to give Ali his first ever wicket in tests. He was gone for 15, and South Africa was 133 for 4. Then Dean Elgar was the next man out very, very soon afterwards. In fact, 2 overs later, with the score on 136. He was caught by Babar Azam, bowled again by the debutant Nauman Ali for 58. So Ali getting his first 2 test wickets within the space of a few overs. That brought Temba Bavuma to the crease. He was batting with George Linder, and they got on quite well before Bavuma was run out. A very, very good piece of fielding from the outfield. Hassan Ali making a sliding stop and then firing it into Rizwan, who literally had to move 3 centimeters, his gloves 3 centimeters to the left to break the bails, and a diving Temba Bavuma was out. He was gone for 17. George Linder was caught by Mohammad Nawaz, bowled Hassan Ali for 35. Keshav Maharaj bowled Yasser Shah for 0. Anrich Nortje bowled Yasser Shah also for 0. And Lungi Ngidi, the last man to fall, he was LBW, bowled Shaheen Afridi for 8. The man not out, Kagiso Rabada, 21 off 36, good little cameo role for him, so he would have been happy enough. And South Africa are 100, or were 220 all out at a time when they were 100 odd for 5. They really didn't look like they were going to make 200. So I think they will be happy enough with that. But certainly if you'd offered them 220 at breakfast this morning, they would have wanted a little bit more than that. Bowling figures, Shaheen Afridi, 2 for 49. Hassan Ali, 1 for 61. He was quite expensive, going for 4.5 runs and over. Fahim Ashraf, no wickets for 12 runs or 5 overs. Debutant, Nauman Ali, he bowled 17 overs today, 2 for 38. And Yasser Shah, the other spinner, 22 overs, 3 for 54. So definitely a spinner's paradise today. The pitch itself, I don't think it's necessarily a spinner's wicket, but definitely the spinners doing the business today. The 2 debutants, by the way, Imran Butt and Nauman Ali. Imran Butt taking 2 very, very good catches today, so he will be happy with it. And Nauman Ali taking 2 good wickets, those of Dean Elgar and Quinton de Kock. So he'll be happy with both of those.
Yeah, I would say that Quinton de Kock gifted his wicket to
Nauman.
there, to Nauman Ali. So I won't say that was a good delivery at all, but yeah, good to see the debutants for Pakistan doing well from their point of view. Just disappointing the Rassie van der Dussen wicket, the run out, Timber Bavuma's run out. Those are top batsmen that you don't want to see them gifting their wickets like that. Quinton de Kock loose shot when the game situation definitely didn't call for that type of shot to be played. So those 3 wickets, I think, made a huge impact in the score that South Africa were able to get in the end. If they had those 3 guys use their heads a little better, we could have had a little bit of a target to bowl at right now. We'll have to hope for some early wickets in the Pakistan batting innings as South African fans to get some parity in this match, because Pakistan are in charge.
Yeah, it's going to be a concern. The bowlers who really looked dangerous were the 2 spinners, Ali and Yasir Shah, and I'm not convinced that either of South Africa's spinners are of a quality to be able to trouble the Pakistan batsmen anywhere near the way that those caused grief for the South African batsmen. The Pacers just generally looked innocuous today, I felt. They did get a few wickets, but South Africa is going to have to rely on a little bit of luck and maybe some loose shots from Pakistan if they're going to claw their way back into this game.
Yes.
Let me quickly just dive into some tweets here. We have a few.
Yes, let's go.
Welcome to the broadcast at Simon Gear. My day is better to see you back behind the mic. Thoughts on why Laura Wolfart still isn't batting at number 3 for the men? Fantastic team on now for the last hour of play. Yeah, that's us. Whoa, represent. Thanks, David. Thanks for the shout outs, bro. You can also, if you want to tweet us, if you want to be as cool as David Midgley, all you have to do is tweet us at Gorilla SA, and we'll read out your tweets or make them sound great. Yeah, let's chat cricket, guys. So what's the game plan for the South Africans coming in? Because we have someone mentioned on a tweet here. Where is that tweet? Something about, should we not open with Maharaj? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be interesting? Would we actually open with Maharaj? Here it is. Yes, it's a tweet from David Midgley saying, open the innings with Maharaj with the ball. Perhaps the new ball swing that the Pakistan team has got is too enticing. Where do we sit here, gents?
I don't think it's that sort of wicket. I mean, maybe when you've got a real Bunsen burner, then you sort of think about opening with a spinner. But I think that certainly bring him on early. I'd like to see him bowling by the sort of 10th or 12th over, maybe. But we've got world class seamers in KG Rabada and Lungi Ngidi and Anrich Nokia. So I think give them a chance to get some steepling bounce while we can, and then see where we are in terms of the spin.
Yeah, no, definitely Maharaj, first change. That will be the earliest I would bring him on if I were the captain. And I think Maharaj might open the bowling in the second innings with Pakistan batting last. But that will depend, I think, on the state of the pitch, the state of the game. Maybe if Pakistan have a huge total to chase in their second batting innings, that could be an option to give them a look at Maharaj and challenge them to take him on. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what kind of assistance the South African speedsters might get, if any. We did see some shape from Shaheen Shah Afridi, from the Pakistan opening bowlers this morning with the new ball. So hopefully the South Africans can also get a bit of that going. Especially Kagiso Rabada. I'm very excited to see him back after he was out of the Sri Lankan series. and with that new ball in his hand, he's a guy who can get some shape with the new ball.
Yeah, just a little bit of news from Durban, where South African women are taking on Pakistan women. South Africa, after 48 overs, 191 for 8. The two ladies at the crease, Trisha Chetty is there on 29, and Ayabonga Kaka there on 8. It's been slow going. South Africa, unfortunately, very, very guilty of once they lose a few wickets, the run rate often plummets. And if you don't have any of those top order batters there with you in those closing overs, then South Africa really does struggle to make it much above the 200 run mark, which looks like that's going to be the case this time. They did defend 200 in the first of the 3 ODIs. I don't think Pakistan will make that mistake again. They were left. Anita Dar, in fact, was left on 60 odd off 90 balls, if not more. And I think she would have felt that she should have got her team over the line. So it looks like it's all Pakistan in Durban at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. They're now 193 for 8 in the last closing overs there. Just as we see the South African players getting ready on the field, the feedback, Otto, is that your feed is a little bit spotty, so we're going to go with ball by ball. Chepo, are you happy to do ball by ball? Would you like me to do it for a bit?
Yeah, go ahead with ball by ball. I have some tweets here. And speaking of tweets, we have Leah's tweet that says 2 overs each from Lungi and KG to create some footholds. And then Maharaj supported by the 5th from Faf and Aiden. By some filth, from Faf and Aiden.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll. Bear in mind that Keshav is owed a couple of overs because if memory serves, in the second test against Sri Lanka, he played the whole match without getting an over.
Getting an over. One innings of batting. That is worse than being a batsman and going out for a duck. Like, you're literally watching opportunities go past you, and the captain's not giving you 1 second thought. Imagine that. That must be wrong.
It's like being a batsman and having the captain declare when he sees that you're padding up, basically.
Literally. By no fault of your own. Yeah, no, he did.
Right, so we do have our answer is given to us in that it is going to be KG Rabada to open the bowling, and he is going to be bowling to the debutant Imran Butt. And it should so certainly not opening with a spinner. It would be a bold move to open with a spinner in the second innings of a test match, wouldn't it? And I think the groundsman would be upset to see that sort of judgment of his surface. I don't think there's anything wrong with the surface at all. I think South Africa, a combination of giving their wickets away, a couple of soft dismissals, and some very, very good bowling, in particular by Yasser Shah. So Imran Butt to face the first ball, he leaves it alone outside the off stump and no run.
A little bit of movement there, late movement as well, as it was going to Quinton de Kock's hand. So hopefully we could take advantage of this new ball here. We saw that there was lots of movements, or there was a bit of movement on offer for Hassan Ali and Shaina Afridi. And hopefully the South Africans can exploit that movement and maybe get an early wicket share, make some early inroads.
3 slips and a gully in place. It's KG in again. Oh, this is one that really does swing a lot. Does it swing, or was it just misdirected and taken in front of first slip by Quinton de Kock and no run?
Yeah, that second delivery by Kagiso had a really nice shape to it. Just the wrong line there with the ball starting on the off stump line and swinging further and further away, or the line outside the stump, I should say.
Slips go down again. It's probably a little bit wide by KG Rabada, and probably a 7th stump line, and easily left alone. When you've got a debutant there wearing the Pakistan helmet for the first time, you make him play. You want to put him under pressure.
Yeah,
get the ball into his ribs. There's nothing you want more as a debutant is just to be able to watch it go past a couple of times.
I think KG's also hitting his stride here. It's first game back for a while, especially even after the lockdown. So keen to.
Well, I mean, he gets the false stroke from Imran Butt here. If Butt had got an edge there, he would have been distraught.
Would've kicked
had a bit of a
himself.
flash at one, and it went through to the keeper. So he probably got a little lucky there, I think, did the debutant.
Quinton de Kock taking these catches
that was a
very
wild
low
shot.
as well.
Wild shot there.
Yeah, not a lot of bounce at all, which I think is of some concern to the South Africans. We'll have to see what Heinrich Nokia is able to do. This time he does angle it in, and did it go through his legs, I think? It was
Possibly, or
defended
maybe behind
straight
him.
into the pitch, and a little lucky not to get the play on there. And KG Rabada will feel that maybe his is certainly a moral victory this over.
Yeah, good stuff from Kagiso so far. Great to see him back, as I said before. And,
Comes in for the last ball of the over. This is wasted outside the off stump. Taken low down by Quinton de Kock. Into the over, 0 for 0, with Butt having faced all of those. It'll be Abid Ali to face the next over.
We have a
so
tweet
who's going
here
to open
coming.
with Kagiso? It's going to be Ngidi, right?
Has to be, surely. Why change that? He was a more senior bowler in the last Test series as well, and
Yeah.
it would seem it would be. But to be fair, he wasn't included in the side until Shamsi's injury.
Yeah, he only
So that
came in
could
this
al-
morning. Yeah,
Yeah, so it could actually be Nokia. But I don't.
I would like to see. I would like to see Nokia bowl when the ball is still hard.
Fresh.
I think we need to get a little bit of proper lift from him to see whether
Well,
we can
your
trouble these.
wish is granted, Simon, because as we're looking at Abid Ali's stats here, only 9 matches, 14 innings, 536 runs, a very healthy average of 44.67. So, yeah, Heinrich Nokia is coming to attack. Your wish has been granted, Simon.
Here he comes, and he really troubled the Pakistanis a few seasons ago. Oh, this is driven into the offside and no run. Actually, it wasn't him. It was Olafia who with his steepling bounce, caused absolute havoc with the Pakistanis. Heinrich Nokia was supposed to play in that series. That was supposed to be his debut series, and he got injured, having taken bucket loads of wickets in November. He got injured and wasn't able to play those December tests. That was, I think, the first test series we did as 1WSR.
Oh, wow.
Guerrilla cricket. Yeah. And it was ridiculous. I mean, the games were over in 2.5 days every single time.
True.
Kevin Bavuma going under the load. Why they didn't have him there for the first ball, I don't know. Very, very strange. Why would you not put him in straight away? I mean, it's not like anything's happened that they've suddenly thought it was worthwhile.
Changed.
I don't understand that at all.
Maybe you forgot it, like you forget your mask before you go out.
And you have to go back again. He's still putting the helmet on as Heinrich Nokia runs up. It's a fuller ball. Oh, it was actually top ball. About a bit of a crowd catch there. I thought he was in the money, but one hand, one bounce.
Some backyard cricket here. Would love to see it. Imagine the bounce this man could extract with a tennis ball. Hey, you sus.
Geez, tape ball cricket with Heinrich Nokia would be something else. Yeah.
Yes.
So the Pakistan batsmen looking very cautious here at the start.
Interesting lens.
Again, very, very full. He's obviously trying to get a little bit of swing here, which is unusual for Nokia. I don't think I've ever seen him bowl two full balls in a row in my life.
3 full balls, Mahal.
3 full balls, in fact. Yeah, you're quite right. So
that is very interesting.
Yeah,
especially considering his last series. That was his lengths were all over the place. He's got 3 in a relative block hole, at least around the 4th stump area, around the off stump area. But it's only been 3 balls. Let's see if he can keep this consistency going, but keeps the batsman playing, which is good.
This time he does try to dig one in, but it's misdirected down the leg stump, goes through to Quinton de Kock. Still 0 for 0.
And that was the 4th ball of the over, Simon.
That was the 4th ball, yes. So we've had 10 balls so far. No runs. Heinrich Nokia running at 90 miles an hour, 144 kilometers an hour. So he's getting a bit of pace going, but not yet troubling the batsman. Both South African bowlers, to be honest, have been a little bit wayward in this opening spell. Not quite getting their lines right. Nokia in again. This time much better. A little bit too close to cut, but Abid Ali looking at the length and thinking that the cut might be on, and he could so easily have got an inside edge through to the keeper there.
Yes, tried to force the ball away from his body there and just missing it completely. Played the shot as the ball had already passed him, so he's beaten for pace there. Still no runs on the board for Pakistan.
A quick update for you on the women's game. South Africa have just ended their innings on 201 all out. The last wicket was a run out, but it was off the last ball.
Solid back defensive to end that over. So 2 maidens to start. So if you're interested in how things have gone in that South African game, in fact, I'm doing ball by ball, so you can give us a little quick summary of how things have gone there, Chapel.
Okay, yes. So we have top scoring is Laura Wolfart with 58 off 72 balls. Once Diana Baig took her scalp. Lizelle Lee follows with 49, just short of her 50 of 68 balls, and she was caught by Diana Baig and bowled by Nashra Shandu. And the third in the runs was Trisha Chetty with the gloves. And Diana Baig struck there. She got 34 of 43 balls, a little palindrome of numbers over there. I'll give you the bowling stats off this ball.
KG Rabada, short outside the off stump, through to Quinton de Kock, no run.
Best figures for the ladies, as I mentioned earlier, Diana Baig. Look at that. 4 for 30 off 10 overs. Great economy rate. Great in the wickets column. It wasn't her run out, but yes, following her, we had Shandu, who took 2 for 31 at an economy of 30.1. And then wickets were spread evenly through a few other bowlers. Everyone else got 1 wicket there.
As we see again, it's Faf du Plessis and Rassie van der Dussen standing in the slips for South Africa here. And as David pointed out earlier on the tweets, that Rassie van der Dussen doesn't feel it's for his franchise, for his provincial team.
That's mild, dude. Now all the tweets just fly.
Who's in that lion slip cordon then? Full of ball and actually driven back past KG Rabada. I thought for a moment they were going to get off the mark, but they didn't. KG got some fingers on that, slowed it down. Lungi Ngidi comes round to do the fielding. Huge big grin, showing everyone how much he loves playing cricket. And no run.
Now, let's have some of the tweets that you said are flooding in. Thanks for those, everybody. Thanks for tweeting us in.
Oh, it turns out they were all replies.
I see.
All replies.
Oh, shorter ball. He has a bit of a fend at this. It goes past the outside edge. But has not looked hell of a convincing as a test match opener, to be entirely honest. He's probed it a few. He hasn't shown a lot of patience. And I think if you just keep on hanging the ball out at a third stump line, you're going to get this guy to edge one.
No doubt about
definitely
that.
He's looking for the drive. He wants to play that drive shot. He wants to play into the covers. Let's see what he does with this one.
Shorter ball, just dug in, and but is able to duck underneath it. But he's shown himself keen to chase the ball. So while I was a little bit critical of KG early on, thinking he was bowling too wide, I take that back. I think Butt is a prime candidate for getting an edge to a what I would say a bad one, but a wide one. Just stay patient, KG. Just keep on bowling it outside there and let the batsman come to you, I think.
Yeah, maybe get a third slip in there as well if you're going to go for that tactic.
Oh, absolutely. Last ball of the over, a little bit straighter. This time, Butt is able to just play the forward defensive. 3 maidens to start. 3 little girls to tee are we. And that is 0 for 0. 3 little maids from tee to tee. What is the Mikado line? I once even sang it for an inter-house musical.
3 for
little
what
maids.
after tea?
3 little maids to tea are we. Something we. I can't remember. Anyway.
Oh, that's
a long time ago.
I can't help you there, Simon. Sorry.
So it was before my time. Yeah, no, sorry, I can't help. Otto, you should have helped out here. Simon was floundering. He needed your assistance. Where were you, Otto?
Not care to ball. Do you know what we haven't learned yet? Are the ends to this ground? Does anyone know the ends to the national ground in Karachi?
Yeah, it's the Pavilion end and the University Road end.
Oh, really? Okay.
So so I think
okay, coming from one of those ends, and finally we're going to get some runs. It's the outside edge of the bat. It went on the ground between point and gully. Keshav Maharaj gives
Well,
chase, drags it back, and I think it was Faf du Plessis who did the cleaning up. They go through 4-3. Those 3 runs accruing to Abid Ali, and Pakistan are on their way, 3 without loss.
So we have
Now let's
tweets
see
coming
what
in.
Imran Butt does with Heinrich Nortje's speed. He was struggling to get his timing right against Rabada. So hopefully Nortje was watching what Rabada did and gives him something to flash at.
I see Keshav Maharaj still with his ridiculous baggy. Oh, he plays it short, and this time Butt is able to have a bit of a hook at it. George Linder clears up a backward square leg. I see, so we've got a deep fine leg and a square leg who's 3/4 of the way back. So maybe this is going to be the plan with Butt, to see if we can't get him hooking, which is very different to what KG Rabada was trying to get from him. But he is off the mark in Test match cricket, which I don't begrudge him at all. It's nice to see a debutant open his account 4 without loss. Heinrich Nortje in again, right arm over, and played into the covers off the back foot by Abid Ali. They're going to come through for 1. They think about the second. No, they're not going to get it. And through for a single 5 without loss.
Seems that the Pakistani batsmen are targeting Nortje, or at least the bats finding the ball with Nortje's bowling. Already 5 off the over. Oh, do you mind if I quickly jump into some tweets? We have a tweet from Mohammed saying, I may be a cautious captain/coach, but I would have no problem being 150 for 2 at the close of play on day 1. Get those bowlers tired and then pick them apart day 2 and try to only bat once. Don't see that happening much anymore.
Defended into the offside.
For Pakistan, yeah.
Say again?
So I think that has to be the plan for Pakistan. But as long as they can, they've got the upper hand. They've got the extra time to bat. So if they can do it and just bat once, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's cautious. They're not going to get to 150 for 2. I can tell you that right now. I mean, it's they've only got an hour left to play tonight. So they're going to be, if they were 50 for 1, I think, or 50 for none, they would quite happily take that. Defended into the onside and no run.
Yeah, I think from if I were Pakistan, I would be happy just with no wickets down. Doesn't matter how many runs are on the board by the close of play, as long as there's no wickets down. 1 wicket down, okay, that could be okay, but certainly no more than that. If South Africa can get 2 or 3 wickets here before the close, they'll be happy. They'll be the happiest side.
I think she was talking about South Africa's innings, though, with the 150 for 2. 150 for 2 after a day of play, literally just staying in there.
Imagine. Off the front foot,
that would
into
have
the
been
offside
nice.
and no run.
Imagine.
Yeah, would have been nice if we had stuck around at least until the new ball. So very disappointing.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Also, another tweet from David Miji giving us the slip corner for the Lions. It's Van der Berg behind the stumps. Pangiso at first. One of the 2 Hendricks. It's Riza or I forgot the D Hendricks at second, and then Magala at third slip. Thanks, David.
Magala a slipper. Okay, I didn't know that Magala fielded a slip. Yeah, Dave Midgley's unique, or just about unique, in that his office is inside Wanderers Stadium. He gets to look out his office window onto the pitch. So even in lockdown, in fact, especially in lockdown, we get regular updates as to what's going on at Wanderers from Dave Midgley.
Yeah, and he keeps showing us his office. He keeps showing us that his office is in Wanderers as if we don't know.
Oh, and this time, KG Rabada gets one to stick a little bit low. It hits the off stump, removes the off stump of Abid Ali. That is the breakthrough that South Africa wanted. And Abid Ali is bowled KG Rabada for 4. It's Pakistan 5 for 1.
Ooh.
That was
KG Rabada. Take a bow, dislodging the stumps there. This is what you love to see, an off stump doing some cartwheels. It's great to have you back in Test cricket, my man. Yes, I'm pumped.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, well, that one did keep a bit low, hey? It wasn't that full, but that must have been the seam that played a role there. The seam was wobbling a bit, so it just struck the wicket at such an angle that it died, didn't come up as high as Abid Ali had thought at first, and he goes. And so Rabada's got a wicket without conceding a run off the first ball of his third over. 5 for 1.
Chepo, are you able to give us the numbers there?
I can quickly. Sorry, I was on tweets. I can
No
quickly
problem. I'll give
us
them.
the numbers.
So that was the first ball of the 5th over. Abid Ali bowled by Rabada for 4. He faced 9 balls. The fall of wicket is 5 for 1. And South Africa feeling very, very much in this game. Imran Butt still there on 1 of 16 balls. It's been a cautious start for him. The man coming to the crease now, I haven't been able to catch his who it is yet. It should be Azhar Ali, who's coming out.
Like it,
Yeah, I think it is. And so he will be facing the first ball, his first ball from KG Rabada, who has yet to concede a run.
We have a few tweets coming in. Lots of tweets celebrating KG. We have one from Leah saying, "And so it begins." KG with the breakthrough. David Midgie says, "Good start for KG, taking an early wicket, castling Abid Ali for not much." That's fantastic to see. And my apologies to Anis Muhammad. He says, at Tepotela, "But I'm a guy." And Ozmaster and Simon says nothing. And let him go with it. Guys, I've been calling Anis a woman, and you guys have been just allowing me. Guys, please.
The first ball to Azhar Ali from KG Rabada, full Yorker length ball, and just dug out by the new batsman, and no run. Pakistan 5 for 1.
That's great thinking by Rabada. I like that. Give the new batsman a nice little fast in-swinging Yorker. That's brilliant.
Now, this is the quality that we missed in Sri Lanka. And you have to ask yourself, imagine how Sri Lanka would be floundering had we had a full bowling attack going at them.
Straight a ball by KG Rabada and just worked into the onside, and no run. 5 for 1. So we've got about 3 balls left in this over. Then we'll say cheers to Otto, and we'll say hello to Chris, who I see is in the waiting room. So it's all working out quite well. Yeah, this was. I mean, having a look at that, it was a good ball by KG. It definitely stayed low, but it wasn't impossibly low. And I think we're just so used to watching the South African bounce. This time he does dig it in, but well defended off the back foot by Azhar Ali, and no run.
Abid Ali was standing looking at the pitch as if to suggest that the bounce surprised him, but he was outside the line anyway. He wasn't in behind that ball at all. So, see the next one.
The man is under the helmet is Themba Bavuma. He's very much made that position his own lately, as Rabada digs another one in, but easily avoided by Azhar Ali. And after 2.5 overs, KG Rabada 1 wicket for no run.
Anis Mohammed noticed something in the celebrations of the South Africans in the replays. He says, halfway through celebrating the wickets, Markham and Alga were cocking themselves. Uneven bounce on day 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? The last ball of the over, KG Rabada right arm over, left outside the off stump, and no run. That is the end of that over. It is the end of Otto's work for the day. Mate, thank you very, very much for joining us. I'm not going to be around now. I'm going to go back to work.
Thank you very much.
We might be having to use you a lot more. But thanks very much.
Speak to you tomorrow. Cheers.
Lekker Otto, cheers, meneer Simon.
And we will add Chris into our room. Chris, hello, welcome.
Chris.
Thank you very much.
For round 2, boy.
Are we all now on TV feed?
No, I'm on.
Oh, you're also streaming. Okay, cool.
Should I jump forward, or should we just continue?
No. If we're all,
that's cool. I've synced up to where you were.
If we're all synced, let's just stick where we are. Heinrich Nortje is to resume and defended onto the offside. There's a bit of a shy at the stumps of the striker's end as Butt is sent back, and no mess, no foul in the end. But Butt could have found himself run out on debut for one there. He would not have looked at his batting mate Azhar Ali with great affection if South Africa had hit the stumps there. Anyone else with me?
Yeah, very much, yeah.
So sorry, you caught
no
me
worries.
with a brain fade there.
No problem at all. I reckon Nokia in again, right arm over, left outside the off stump, and no run.
I feel
That's
like
something
when
that-
sorry, Chris, please. I was just going to say something stupid.
You just said brain fade. I think that's something that Steve Smith brought into every cricket watcher's lexicon a bit more a few years ago. And
100%.
you were going to say?
I was just going to say I felt like a child who was distracted in class, and the teacher says, "Are you paying attention?" And you're just like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
you caught
Or
me."
even worse, they just ask you a question and you don't even know what subject you're in. Shorter ball and well pulled in front of square by Imran Butt. That is going to get him off, well, not off the mark, but certainly feel like he's really opened his account now. He goes through to 5, and Pakistan now 9 for 1.
It's like, have you ever watched University Challenge, the BBC quiz show?
I've never
I
watched
haven't.
it. I sort of know of it from a number of different references, but never actually bothered to sit down and watch one.
Right, because it's the sort of quiz show where you celebrate if you understand the question, even if you don't get the answer. Just,
Right arm over the
Which is a
wicket,
bit
left
like
outside
some
the
exams.
off stump and no run. Yeah. Stephen Fry famously was in the Cambridge University Challenge team back in the day, and was roundly dismissed by Hugh Laurie for telling Hugh that he knows what it's like to be in the losing boat of the university boat race, because he too had lost in the final round of University Challenge, and I think Hugh Laurie rather forcefully suggested that it's nothing of the sort. Tucked off his pads, they're going to come through for at least a single here as KG Rabada collects it at fine leg. They do indeed. So Butt goes through to 6, and Pakistan 10 for 1.
yeah, I
Did you
guess
say
a lot more
university
people have done
boat race?
University chat. Oh yeah, Cambridge, Oxford.
Oh,
Yeah, no, not
sorry.
a drinking game, Chepo.
Sorry, when I hear boat race, there's only one thing on my mind, man.
Yeah.
My great grandfather was the cox for the Cambridge team in the late 1880s.
Oh,
in
wow.
the Cambridge Oxford boat race. So I've got some medals upstairs. Save that for tomorrow. Keep all the listeners intrigued.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. That's what we call a teaser in the game, folks. Here comes Anrich Nortje again and defended off the back foot. No run. That's quite something to have. A couple of Oxford Cambridge boat race medals. Certainly one of my, well, it's the only, other than the Olympics, it's the only rowing that I would ever bother to watch. But I lived at exactly the halfway point of the boat race when I was in London for a year as an 18-year-old on the Hammersmith Bend. I lived right at the apex of that bend and was able to watch the boats come past literally from my bedroom window. It was great fun.
You've lived a lot of lives, Simon.
I have indeed, but then, I mean, my life is about twice as long as yours so far, Chris. So it's you
But
still have opportunity.
I thought at 18 you were painting yourself silver and posing as a statue at Brightwater Commons.
No, that was at 2021 I was doing that. Nortje is turned off his pads. Oh no, this is KG Rabada actually. Beginning of his fourth over, he goes for his first run of his resumption in international cricket, as he's turned off the pads, and he's now 1 for 1, and Pakistan 11 for 1, all the ones.
Yeah, Nelson for sorts. I'm very much keeping my feet on the ground.
Oh, not anymore.
No
Sorry,
ball
mate.
as well. So we go straight to 12 for 1. We can put our feet back down.
Oh, that's tragic.
So we go back to just 6 overs. Now he bowls the first official ball of his over, which is dug in, tucked off his armpit, and it's going to be Temba Bavuma, who makes a sliding stop at a backward square, having run from his place at short leg. There we go. And they go through for 13 for 1. Butt is on 7, Azhar Ali on 1.
I have this little desire in my heart for every single ball that is hit into the field. I want Bavuma to chase it. I enjoy just watching him run. It
One of
looks
those
like
where
it's so
you get
quick.
your little brother to do all the
He's
fielding on the onside. KG again left outside the off stump, no run. How are we doing for tweets there, Chapo? I know there was one related
We're doing
to
pretty
Machado,
well.
which we haven't read.
We just have David Midgley saying that just to make us a bit jealous, here's a few more pictures of his office, view from the Wanderers, and he says, cannot wait for SA versus Aussie, the SA versus Australia series, rather. And Coach Dave also mentioned that I was describing 90% of his schooling career when I mentioned that feeling you get when the teacher calls you and you're supposed to be focusing.
I thought he was talking about the boat races.
This next ball is just played off the back foot by a butt into the offside. He's beginning to get into his rhythm a bit now, and they're able to get through for 2, but to 9.
For all the hockey fans out here, we have a Malik bat, a very prominent hockey stick brand, but as a cricket bat. I think is it Pakistani? I think it is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The Malik brand, yes, it is. It's made in Pakistan.
But that MB logo looks like
Shorter ball, and it comes steepling off the shoulder of the bat. And I thought this was going to be safe, but actually, Temba Bavuma was a long way back. He's actually at a backwards short square leg, and it turned out to be the easiest of easy catches there. Incredibly good field placement because he's not in a regulation position here. If you watch it, it was backward of a length. It actually looks like it hit the glove and looped away to Temba Bavuma, who was quite a long way back and quite a long way
it's actually Keegan
behind
Peterson.
square as well.
It's Keegan Peterson.
It is Keegan Peterson. Yeah, well,
It is Keegan Peterson.
Yeah.
Keegan Peterson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. So
I was going to say, it looks like Bavuma's lost weight, but it's just Keegan Peterson's a slightly slimmer man. Not that Bavuma's overweight, just Keegan Peterson
just a little
is
chunkier,
more
yeah.
slight.
It's shorter and stockier. That's all it is. Let me quickly give us the figures of Butts. Butts is out for 9 after facing 24 balls. He had that one boundary and caught off the bowling of Kagiso Rabada and caught by the substitute Keegan Peterson.
So we may have been
That's
all out
2
for
wickets for
220.
Rabada.
We may have thrown our wickets away. We may have had 2 silly run-outs, but Kagiso Rabada's back and white and laying our position away. So it's all worth it.
Say again, sorry? You just sort of faded away for a moment.
I'm just happy to see Rabada back in whites, basically. I don't mind that we didn't bat that well if we're going to see KG bowl today.
High key. Is it because you're a
yeah.
Saints boy or because you're a South African fan? I want to know.
60-40. I won't say which way.
Smart man. Oh, here's someone I want to see. Baba Azam in the middle. Yeah, very excited to see this, man. First test match as captain returning. 30 matches, 54 innings, 2,045 runs. Look at that average. An average of 45.44. Oh, wow. What happened there?
So the first ball to Baba Azam is left alone outside the off stump, but Quinton de Kock manages to mess up the take there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but he really made heavy work of what should have been an absolute regulation collection. It looks like he might have got it on the finger. He's fine. He's not. Yeah.
Just so that we're on top
see a
of it.
replay there.
Dave Midgley does bring up that Rabada's sitting on 199 test wickets.
So he is. So we're just shy of 200. Where does he lie in the sort of all-time list of speed getting to that 200? Is this now given as no ball again? I think KG Rabada is going to have to bowl this ball again. Yeah, it's given as no ball by the third umpire. So that is the second no ball bracketing this over. The first ball was a no ball as well. And so KG Rabada is going to have to bowl an 8-ball over here. And certain brands of cricket that I umpire, we would then inform the batsman and the bowler that don't worry, even if he bowls a no ball here, we will still call it over because otherwise we're going to be here all day.
So right now, Rabada's sitting on 199 wickets, and this is his 44th test. So if he takes his 200th in this one, which you'd imagine he will, he'll be equal 13th fastest to
13.
200 test wickets.
And that is outside the off stump and no run. So have you got the list in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, doing it on 44 tests, he shared the record with 5 other guys, and it's some good players there. It's Richard Hadley, Joel Garner, Ravindra Jadeja, Imran Khan. Oh, no, not Imran Khan. Imran Khan took 45, and Alec Bedzer. So good guys there. The fastest ever is actually playing in this game. Did it in 33 matches.
It'd be Yasser Shah, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Wow, long way the fastest. But yeah, 33. Then Clary Grimmett took 36. Ravi Ashwin took 37. Dennis Lilly took 38. Waka Yunus took 38. Dale Steyn took 39. Ian Botham and Stuart McGill both took 41. Malcolm Marshall took 42. Shane Warne took 42. Alan Donald took 42. Mattia Muralitharan took 42. And then, as I mentioned, those guys took 44.
Ah, interesting.
And if no care to resume outside the off stump, no run. Yeah, that's a heady list of guys to be alongside. Yasser Shah is such an interesting one. Hey, I mean, he's not really spoken of as one of the bowling greats. I mean, we know he's good, but he's massively underrated considering how well his career started.
But we spoke about the fact that he took 233 games. He's taken 27 wickets in his last 10 games because he's now played 43 games. So he's slowed down a bit. But I mean, as a spinner, he also gets to bowl a lot of overs compared to a lot of these other guys.
Does make a difference. Defended into the onside, no run.
Well, we have a tweet here from Ravi Nai that says, "Yay! Pakistan have saved the follow-on."
Weirder things have happened when Pakistan are batting, that's for sure. Have we found out who's off the pitch that King and Peterson is on?
Well, we thought he was Bavuma, so maybe it is Bavuma. We'll keep an eye out for him.
Okay, I don't recall him getting hit when he was batting. Left outside the off stump and no run.
I think it is Temba Bavuma because you normally see him at least in the inner circle.
Under the lid.
Yeah, well, he'd normally be under the lid,
under
but
the
maybe
lid.
if you've got a junior there who's short of stature, maybe you just shove him under. But that would be concerning if he's off the pitch because he wouldn't be getting running repairs as a fast bowler would.
Right. We also have
He
a
would
big enough
think-
squad that we can have just an entirely substitute field and then just the bowler and the wicketkeeper.
That's also true. Left outside the off stump and no run. This one knocking Quinton de Kock off his feet. I'm not sure it was quite that quick, Quinny. But he's keeping himself entertained anyway. Pakistan 16 for 2.
We have another tweet here from Armchair Cricket. Whoa. I got like 2 tweets as I was reading. One keeping low and the other rearing a bit off a length as Kagiso Rabada provides SA breakthroughs by dismissing both openers. In walks Babar Azam for his first game as captain when he's back.
Digging it in and defended into the onside, no run. Curious field here for Heinrich Nortje. So they've got that deep backward short square leg. Try explaining that position to the Americans. They've got a single slip. They've got a gully. They've got a catching mid-wicket. All of these for Heinrich Nortje, who's bowling at 90 miles an hour. I would have thought at least one more slip would be reasonable. As Heinrich turns at the top of his mark, bowling from the pavilion end, left alone, and no run. That is the end of his 4th over. He is 0 for 10. Baba Azam is there on 0 and Azhar Ali on 1.
Yeah, 2 experienced campaigners at the crease now. This is one of the important partnerships to break. You don't want them to settle.
Yeah, I think
not
this is
at
vital.
all.
These are the sort of guys who could be batting until tea time tomorrow if you're not careful.
You had some tweets, Seppo?
Did I?
Oh,
I
I've
got the
got
Armchair
some-
Podcast one, and then David Midgley said that Bavuma's back under the lid, and most of these are replies. Not yet, they haven't. From Leia talking about the follow-on
Yeah,
when
204 behind, please. There's still.
Adrian Rabada to resume. He's now bowling starting his 5th over, and much to everyone's relief, doesn't appear to bowl a no ball, and
Fantastic.
defended and no run.
That's good to see.
He's managed to get Baba Razam out 3 times in their mutual careers. Azam has a average of just 16 against Rabada.
That's actually good. I was actually about to ask, what do you think the South Africans' tactic would be for getting these wickets?
Defended outside the offside, not particularly reliably either. It actually looked like it could have almost bobbled back onto the stumps and no run. Yeah, what is their tactic? Well, it's clearly to bang it in short. Looking at the field setting, they've got men catching on the leg side. They've got a 3/4 man back at square leg looking for the mistimed pull, and not too many in the way of slips and gullies.
So yeah, Rabada's got Baba out 3 times in 4 matches, which is the most of any Pakistani batsman that he's got out.
Okay, defended into the offside, no run.
Was this in South Africa in 2018? Was it that series? I'm actually checking. I'm actually on the scorecard now. I can tell you.
Yes, so it's 2018 is the other. Yeah, the 3 times that he's got him out in the 3 matches that he's played, not including this one, I think.
Yeah, that's that 2018 series was an absolute bloodbath in terms of fast bowling. South Africa didn't do all that well either. I mean, I think we averaged 270 to Pakistan's 250 in that series, or 250 to 235, or something like that. Defended into the onside, they're actually going to scamper through for a single here, and Pakistan get a 17 for 2.
Now, Pakistan were bowled out for under 200 in both innings for the Boxing Day test. It was 181 the first innings, 190 in the second. And in reply, South Africa just got 223. So there's still quite a match. And then 151 for 4 with a target of 149. So, yeah, it wasn't I remember that game, actually. Yeah, no, it wasn't a convincing display.
Dug in by KG Rabada, well played, just into the ground on the onside. By who is that? It's Baba Razam, I think he made it. And no run.
We have another tweet here from Coach Dave. Okay. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say the batsman that Rabada's got out the most is Stuart Broad, 7 times in the test.
Huh. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Wouldn't be surprised if the record is not as similar in the other direction as well. Stuart Broad is also someone who gets brought on to get rid of the tail. Left outside the off stump and no run.
We have another tweet here from David Midgley saying, "Tell me who your favorite SA fast bowler is, and remember to spell Rabada with a capital R." Facts.
He's certainly got the best jingle. Amy and I were singing it to each other last night, actually, and looking forward to this game.
That's so cool.
I look forward to getting the jingles back working at some point. Unfortunately, it requires a whole other laptop and someone sitting permanently at that laptop all the way through the 5 days for it to work. So it's a little bit beyond our current manpower or computing power, to be honest.
Swar. Yo, can't wait for COVID to be a thing of the past, gents. Yo, because that'll bring the jingles back.
So Broad's only got Rabada out 4 times in the same number of games, obviously. So
what an amateur
winning that race.
Although I imagine Jimmy Anderson has picked up the other 3 at least.
Oh, I can't keep doing this, but
Yo, I've got to learn when Chris is on air with us that you can't sort of posit even the smallest theory because he disappears down a rabbit hole for the next 3 minutes. Right, well, Lungi Ngidi joins the attack and straight away it's turned into the onside. There's a diving stop there there's Temba Bavuma who's back on.
It is Temba.
So he's a square leg. Yeah, at a conventional square leg, not at a catching square leg, and no run. 17 for 2. Babar is on 1. Azhar Ali is on 1 as well. And Lungi Ngidi having bowled just the 1 ball, 0 for 0. Babar Azam will have been pleased to have seen off Anrich Nortje as Ngidi comes in again from the pavilion end and defended into the offside, no run.
So, you were right about that. But bowlers who've got Rabada out the most, Ravi Ashwin's got him out 5 times, but then it's Broad 4, Anderson 4.
Oh, there you go.
So Ben Stokes 1, Moeen Ali 2 amongst Englishmen.
Okay.
Mark Wood once, and Liam Dawson once, and that's all the Englishmen.
When the hell did Liam Dawson get?
2017.
I didn't realize Liam Dawson had played because hasn't he just got back into the England side? I thought he was making his debut when he came back.
Liam Dawson's not in the side at the moment.
Who's the guy who's just made the debut in opening?
Opening the batting.
For England, isn't he?
Crawley and Sibley are both opening the batting, but they've also both played against us.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a guy. He's a middle order batsman. Sorry, I'm sure it had a name like Liam Dawson.
Dom Bess?
No. Just now in the series, someone made a debut in the class.
Dan Lawrence.
Dan Lawrence, there you go. Dan Lawrence, Liam Dawson. You can see why I got that wrong.
Yeah, DLLD.
Yeah. Lawrence and Lawson. Lungi Ngidi hammers this in, but it keeps low, and is Babar Azam's able to turn it around the corner down to KG Rabada at a fine leg, and they jog through for an agreed single. Babar to 2, and Pakistan to 18 for 2.
Yeah, just don't confuse him for Dennis Lilly. I was racking my mind trying to find another DLLD, and that's why I landed on.
Duckworth Lewis, possibly.
Duckworth
Very good.
Lewis.
I knew there was a deal that was important in cricket, yeah. And the news from Johannesburg is that the sun has come out, much to everyone's surprise.
Yeah.
As Lungi Ngidi turns again, coming in right arm over, fuller ball and defended out to Madon. I think that's the first time Madon has had any work to do today, and no run.
Did we mention that South Africa finished 201 all outs in the 50 overs? Okay.
Yes, we did. They take a hell of a long time to come back onto the field there. I'm assuming it's raining down in...
score by now, but yeah.
Yeah. Unless what's happened is that the Cricinfo feed has gone down from there.
Now the Google feed is also still nothing. I even refreshed it and everything. It's still the break.
Yeah, Cricinfo is generally quite good. I know CricBuzz with the women's games and with the domestic games, they update them only every few overs. It's a lot slower. Cricinfo is normally quite good.
Yeah, they were down a little earlier for the women's game. I think in one of the last games, where just at the beginning of the match, that took a little while to get going. Still nothing. No news from Durban. I don't know if that means that it is raining there, although it does still say innings break. When did they go off? I can't even remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have cricket in front of us, so we will worry about that. That is the end of that over. Lungi Ngidi 0-1. There are 8 overs left in the day today. Pakistan 18 for 2. They trail by 202. So Linux Layer is quite correct that they haven't yet avoided the follow-on. South Africa can live in hope for the time being of still batting this evening.
We have another tweet here from David Midgley saying the Dawson you might be thinking about is probably Alan Dawson at Simon Gear, or perhaps Dawson's Creek. Could be.
Possibly, although I've never watched Dawson's Creek. I'm watching Schitt's Creek at the moment, which is quite amusing. Change of fielding for KG Rabada. He's now got a silly Madon in place. That'll be Rassie van der Dussen. Silly Madon at Test match level is always quite strange because he's all the way back next to the umpire, pretty much, or next to the non-striker. Normally at club level, we have them shoved up a lot closer than that. KG Rabada turns again, bowling from the university end. He comes past the umpire and defended into the onside, collected by that silly Madon. And Rassie has a half-hearted shy at the stumps at the non-striker's end. And no run.
It looked like Babar Azam might have been complaining about something behind the bowler's arm there because the umpire also turned around.
Ah, okay. He wasn't complaining about the existence of Rassie van der Dussen at Madon there, at City Madon.
And I don't think they're complaining about that bit of advertising that we've seen. I heard the commentators talking about it earlier. That if you hit the advertising, one of the screens, you get $500.
Oh, well.
But it's in the strangest place. It is literally just behind square on the side of the pavilion end. So if you were
I guess it's also there for it's a lofted cover drive as well from from the other
Yeah,
end.
if from the other
That is
end, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems like a half-assed piece of advertising. What you want to do is put it where the guys are going to hit it.
Yeah.
There was a famous example of that. I'll tell you shortly after this. KG Rabada in again, right arm over, and this is worked into the onside. They are going to get a couple, I think. Here, just the one, in fact.
Just one.
As someone enthusiastic runs around and collects it. It might have been George Linder, I think, out there at mid-wicket. No, it is Keshav Maharaj with his very odd baggy green cap.
This is
What is
the
wrong with
weirdest
Keshav?
baggy green cap ever.
He
It's
looks
like it
like
has extra
a
space
Rasta.
for hair. I was
Yeah,
about
you
to
know-
say the same thing. I didn't think it
Yeah.
was PC enough, but yes.
We
we
noticed.
likewise.
Yeah, it's not often, Chepo, that someone accuses me of being too PC, but we noticed it when he got his debut that there was something wrong with it, and we sort of vaguely assumed at some point someone would get him a real one. It looks like I don't know what it looks like. It looks like
I'm
James
not
Supplier.
It does just look like it might be a few sizes too big, so it's slipped down the back of his head a bit.
But it's not even the right shape, unless his head is odd underneath there as well. But surely
I
not.
think it has to be for the hair. That can, because he would have changed it by now if it was a problem. He would have been like, guys, can I please have a different cap if you don't mind?
Yeah,
I mean, so
No, but his
surely
hair is not. I can't even picture him without. Yeah. Well, worked around off his hips and on the bounce to Temba Babuma, who's at what position is he at there? He hasn't got a helmet on, but he's at more or less the same position that Pete Peterson took that catch earlier, but under a floppy hat. That looks like it might be the end of KG for the time being, having bowled his sixth over because he's getting he's looking like
shrugging.
they might tell him that it's a no ball and he's going to have to bowl again. Are they surely not?
KG.
I'm not a big fan of this late call of the no ball. They've got to call if they're going
I
to have
don't
the
mind
third.
it. If it's getting the decisions right, I don't mind.
Maybe
You were
yeah.
talking
Anyway,
about
it's not.
good
It's not a no
advertising
ball,
screen.
and
Yes, good advertising screens.
yeah, that's probably exactly what's happening. No, so I was going to tell you about advertising where I think it was Goldfields or someone who had some sort of connection to gold set up an advertising hoarding at the Wanderers up next to the side screen there at a test match and said if you hit it, you get your own weight in gold. As who's the Lungi Ngidi bowling tucked off his off the pads of Babar Azam down to KG Rabada at fine leg and they take a single. Pakistan 20 for 2. So what happened was the Australians were all over us like a rash. I think Gilchrist already had a double 100 and he set himself up almost like who was that West Indian batsman who batted with a square on stance?
Shivnaraj Chandapal.
Shivnaraj Chandapal, yes. So he set himself up, square on, almost like he was playing French cricket, and proceeded to try and hit the South African bowlers at this advertising hoarding. It was the most dominant piece of batting I'd ever seen from anybody in Test match cricket. That you could just do that to fast bowlers with impunity. He didn't ever manage to hit it, but he got close a couple of times.
I mean, your own weight in gold is an impossible amount of money. I think gold's around 800,000 rand a kilo at the moment, and I can't imagine Gilchrist weighs much less than 80 kilos. That would be a lot
So
of
actually,
money.
now that I think about it, maybe it wasn't your own weight in gold. Oh, it's a horrible no ball there.
Whoa.
Is that Lungi?
Yeah, it's Lungi
It's
Ngidi.
Lungi
Yeah, it
Ngidi, yeah.
is.
That was
Atrocious.
that was a big
was
enough no
atrocious.
ball that I can tell you right now, if it was English commentators and bowlers from the subcontinent, the commentators would have started casting aspersions. Right, so in again and angled in to the batsman and defended into the onside and no run.
You were
We have
talking
two
about
tweets
that being
here.
quite good advertising. I think the best way to advertise your products is to have two people in a whole stadium of 20,000 just drinking tea, having an imaginary
Agreed.
conversation.
That is
Agreed.
absolutely doesn't matter what you're advertising. I reckon that's got to be the plan.
No,
They didn't ever
Jen,
tell us what the tea was. They were just advertising the
best way
concept
to
of tea in
advertise
general.
something is just get one person to look like the sipping tea and looking in the distance. That's what you want, and you have to have the sign in the background as well. That's really immersive, man. That's
And just like
proper
a really
advertising.
satisfied face, like it's the best tea
Yeah.
you've ever had.
Best tea.
Defended into the
And it's not
onside
even
and
tea time.
no run. 21 for 2 at the moment. Yeah, we've had
We have
some
a few-
weird weird advertising over the years in cricket stadiums. I'm trying to think.
I mean, with our press passes, we could go do some terrible guerrilla marketing at any of the South African stadiums. Just pass anything, and I'll go sit there and I'll drink a Coke for 10 grand.
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah.
I'll drink a Coke for the price of a Coke, probably. Here comes Lungi Ngidi in for the fourth ball of his second over. This one keeps low and is turned into the onside past a diving Temba Bavuma, diving on the square as well. That can't be much fun. And go through for a single. 22 for 2. All the twos. Babar's on 4, Azar Ali on 2.
Here's that Nelson that you wanted. Or
fraction of a Nelson.
Fraction of a Nelson.
And that is, incidentally, the geez, that really did keep low. Huh?
Wow.
This is indeed the saving of the follow-on as well. Pakistan now trail by 198. Not that it was ever in doubt. Lungi Ngidi turning again and defended into the offside. No run. I have to admit, it looks like he's bowling towards what looks for all money like a pavilion. And yet I have it on fairly good authority that this is the university end that he's bowling from.
Yeah, because you bowl from the pavilion end. Oh, wait, what? Oh.
Yeah, unless that thing is a
pavilion end.
So, well, I don't know. What is that big white building? Do we know? Maybe that's a press center.
I guess that's the university.
That big white.
Unless that's the university. There you go.
Yeah,
the Cricket University of Karachi.
Is what? Is there really a cricket university?
No, there's not. We're talking
in Karachi. Oh, yo.
And also, don't turn that into an
acronym. Oh yes. Final ball of the over, defended solidly, and Lungi Ngidi tries to pass this to where Rassie van der Dussen wasn't. And that's the end of that over. 22 for 2. 6 overs remaining in the day. Probably time for a little bit of spin, I would have thought.
We have a few tweets here from Anise. Saying that Dawson's Creek is an example of the worst parenting in the world. What parents let the girl next door have a ladder outside their teenage? Why do things move as I'm reading? Their teenage son's room for her to climb through the window? Hell no. Must have been something. Dawson's Creek, hectic stuff. We have Young Safa. I haven't watched any Dawson's Creek. Tweet from a tweet from David Midgie saying Young Safa next in to bat. Whoops. Oh, wait a second. This could be a spoiler.
Okay, so while you are trying to figure out what Dave has or hasn't said, let's not read it if it is a spoiler. Heinrich Nortje is going to be bowling. I do have an update on Tabrez Shamsi. Or actually, more to the point, I very specifically don't have an update from Tabrez Shamsi because Super Kazi has given us an absolutely innocuous and empty press release. Defended into the offside. So this from the CSA media liaison, Super Kazi, who we like very, very much. She's very, very good at her job. But she says, hi all, Tabrez Shamsi update. The player was replaced in the lineup just before the toss due to sudden onset of lower back pain, which we knew. The medical team will assess him further and manage him accordingly. Well, thank you.
Good. Yes.
So, breaking news. Stop the press, everybody. And David's saying that there's no spoiler in history.
Say again?
Tucked off the pads and down to fine leg where Lungi Ngidi is doing the fielding. He fires it back in. They go through for a couple, I think. And no, just for the 123 for 2. Babar Azam on 4 and Azhar Ali on 3. Right, you can read that tweet. Dev says there's no spoiler in it.
There's no spoiler. Young Safa next into bat. Oh, this is UAE versus Ireland. Oh, Curtis Camphor and Saint Stithians. Oh, wait, Saint Stithians and DJ coaching.
Oh, Curtis yes. Okay, Curtis Camphor had an absolutely sensational start to his career against England. And oh my goodness. So Heinrich Nortje banged this one in. It went nowhere. It pitched halfway down the pitch and just like ballooned up. And Babar Azam, I think, has put his shoulder out trying to pull it. It took so long to come to him. He ended up getting it on the end of the bat, almost defending it with a square bat, with a horizontal bat. Just generally horrible cricket all round.
Doesn't look like the pitch is holding up consistently here. We've seen a lot of variable bounce, lots of balls staying low, and also Kafisa Rabada wickets also just like jumping as well.
Defended into the offside. They have a bit of a sprint through. Rassie Finidison doesn't collect it cleanly, and they go through for a single. It's actually George Linde, who doesn't collect it cleanly, and they scamper through for 24 for 2. Yeah, I couldn't see whether that shorter ball from Nordkeer was the slower ball bouncer or whether it hit a dead spot to end all dead spots on the pitch. It just was very, very odd.
That could be very interesting. We have a tweet here from Ken Borland telling us about that Gilchrist incident. Neil McKenzie was bowling when Gilchrist belted one that was on the target for the gold bar billboard, and Neil shouted, hit it, and the ball only just
Oh, come on, Neil. Obviously, Keith, imagine if it then turned out that Gilchrist shared the money with him. That would have had a whole other fancy commission going.
Oh, you're just lolling them up for him. Imagine.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Drinks on you, Gilly, tonight. It was. Geez, we were just thumped by the Aussies. It was one of those games where they scored 600 and something and then bowled us out twice. I seem to remember it was horrible. Azhar Ali defends that one into the offside. That is the end of that over. Anrich Nortje 0 for 12 of 5 overs. So I'm sure he will be replaced in the lineup now, and that we'll get some spin. A shot of a whole bunch of dignitaries, all with masks on. Not that I'd be able to identify. Well, some of them I recognize. There's the fast bowler, second from left there. What was his name again?
Shahbak. Is it Shahbak? No.
Is it Shahbak, isn't it?
No, can't be. Didn't that guy get
certainly
fat?
Shahbak that I'm thinking of, but I think you're right. I don't think that is him.
No. Look, maybe, I can't see, and the mask makes it very difficult.
I think it might be him.
Oh, it's the Pakistani cricket board. I'm hearing the Super Sport coverage saying Pakistani cricket board are over there. Oh, and also Chris is waiting in the back room for us.
Oh, I was wondering why Chris was so quiet. I hadn't been paying attention. There we go. Hello, Chris.
Good thing I'm reading the tweets, Chris. Otherwise, you would have been gone for life, my brain.
I sent it everywhere just in case. I sent it on the chat here. I sent it on the WhatsApp, and I sent it over Twitter. I was desperately watching you guys in the background, describing someone who's definitely not Shahbak as maybe Shahbak. Trying to say something.
That wasn't
Shahbak. So that was definitely not Shahbak. Interesting to note then that the Pakistan Cricket Board apparently has a full in uniform general on it as well. Left alone outside the off stump and no run, unless he was just a passerby, as it were.
No, I think with the whole military concern and the lack of, or at least, they have these types of people around. Or maybe I'm just used to seeing military after Joe Biden's inauguration. But that's
how it worked in Pakistan. It's for years and years and years they had generals in charge and cricketers in charge of cricket. And now what they've done is decided to put a cricketer in charge of the country and put generals in charge of the cricket. Yeah, why not? Try and mix things up a bit, see how it works.
Do generals?
We have also seen a heavy security presence around the South African team. Jabrez Shams posting those videos of them on their way to the hotel.
Yeah, I think
it is into the onside. A bit of a diving stop by Temba Bavuma, and he's using. Is he allowed to use sweat on the ball?
Yeah, I think so. It's sweat and not spit. I think is the policy.
Have we done any studies at all to find out whether there's more virus in spit than in sweat? I mean, I imagine it probably would be, it being a bronchial infection.
Yeah, I'm not. I think we can get fined for spreading any misinformation, so I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we should probably shut up on that one. Fuller ball. This one is worked into the onside. They're going to get a couple of runs here, I'm sure, just the one. It is just the one, and they go through to 25.
I don't know if Seppel's frozen or just really enthused because he told us. Oh no, he's moving.
He is actually moving around.
No, I'm here. I'm just trying to read this tweet. I can't figure out grammatically, so I don't want to read it out loud. Otherwise, I'm going to sound like an absolute chop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the chat. It's the one from Josie Oak.
But Josie Oak is usually fairly lucid, though. I thought I saw Josie Oak wandering around the pavements near Wanderers the other day.
I think Sorry.
It could possibly have been. I think it was just a man who looked like him because it was the chap I saw was slighter than I imagined Josie Oak to be, who I think of as quite a large, strapping guy.
I think there's just a word missing in his tweets. I think it's supposed to say you don't get the same talk of fast bowlers arses when Ngidi is bowling on Gorilla Cricket SA like you do on Gorilla Cricket, the UK version. Ooh. They love bringing it up when Ngidi's on. I mean, we did our fair share, but I think we ran that well dry pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean,
so I didn't actually hear that tweet because I was busy watching the latest tea ad where someone has given a photographer a cup of tea. And I must tell you, the photographer looked absolutely horrified to be having it handed to him during a pandemic. Played into the onside and no run.
These tea ads are the winners of the day. But it says you don't get the same talk of fast bowlers asses when Ngidi's bowling on Gorilla Cricket SA like you do on Gorilla Cricket.
Yes, yeah. I was sort of halfway through making an observation about that a couple of matches ago and couldn't quite dig myself grammatically back out of the hole I could see myself digging. It's probably considered not done. I don't know. Look, he does have an enormous gluteus maximus, and that's part of the reason why he's so far.
I won't lie. I'm a large. I have myself a large ass, or at least proportional to my body. So I don't know. I feel a bit hurt.
So you have to bowl 120s at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Having met you a few times in person, Chepo, I've never once walked away thinking that man has a huge ass. So I think you're probably pretty
huge ass. Okay.
Yeah.
Not has.
Maybe is.
Not
but
has and not
has.
is.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Left alone outside the off stump, by the way, chaps, and no run. I think at the end of the day, T is probably the winner.
T, definitely. Like,
yeah.
What's the brand? Honestly, you've seen so many T ads, but I still don't know the brand.
I think Danasaur.
I knew it began with a D, but I couldn't really give you that much information other than that one particular photographer looks horrified about it.
And now we expect our check.
I don't know, Run. Do you know what he looked like? He looked like he'd promised someone that he wasn't going to be coming to the cricket today. And when they handed him a tea on national television, he knew that his life was not going to be worth living.
Busted. Yeah. He was busted, bro.
The wife is there. Sort of
you said you were isolating. We have an update from the ladies' game. Sabrina
Did
Ismail
that voice remind you of the ladies' game?
No, I have the ladies.
It's vaguely misogynist impression of a male Pakistani photographer.
Male Pakistani photographer's wife. It was his wife that was complaining.
Oh, it was his wife. My apologies. Okay.
I made the voice. But yes, like Captain Khan, wait, she's still in. Sorry. The other Khan, she was taken out. Naida Khan, correct, was taken out by Ismail. I'll quickly tell you how. Caught by Lazelle Lee, and she's not behind the stump, so it wasn't an edge. Caught by Lazelle Lee for 3 off 11 balls.
Lazelle usually starts off in the slip, so I think it was probably still an edge behind. Notkia is halfway through his 6th over. South Africa been fairly resolutely sticking with pace all the way through this evening. But at 26 for 2, they probably feel justified.
Yeah,
particularly with variable balance. Notkia comes in 2 men catching in front of the wickets. That's Silly Madon and a catching cover. That's a shorter ball and no run.
So do you think the Pakistanis will be taking the attack to the batsmen tomorrow? Do you think they're just seeing out today and then maybe one aggressor will emerge tomorrow? Or are they just biding their time, just letting the scoreboard tick over. What's the speed here? What's the plan?
I mean, the
I
only
would
thing
guess-
you can achieve now is to survive, eh?
Yeah, just 15 minutes left. And if you see how they've been batting so far, this partnership's 11 runs off 8.2 overs. They're definitely taking the
Great
steady
deal.
the ship approach.
Played into the offside, diving stop at Gully, or running round to point by Markram, and
Aidan Markram.
no run.
Did he save
Yeah,
the
good
single?
fielding late in the day.
He did indeed save
Yes,
the
he
single,
did.
so he'll be happy with that.
Fantastic.
And apparently we have just over 3 overs left after this one's finished. So 19 deliveries left in the day. I'm happy with them 26 for 2, but for 3 would look a lot better.
It would indeed defend it into the offside to that man who is at catching cover. It is Dean Elgar who's down there. So the two South African opening batsmen doing the fielding in the latter half of that over. That is the end of Heinrich Nolkier's 6th over, I think. And now you see, confusingly, I've got 2 tabs open for Cricinfo, both with Pakistan batting. Heinrich Nolkier has bowled 6 overs, 0 for 13, including 2 maidens. And Pakistan, the men, are 26 for 2. The women are 11 for 1.
This is correct.
And Kakhisa Rabada got out Nahida Khan and Shabnam Ismail got out Imran Butt.
Something like that.
With an absolute jet
Jo-
over delivery.
Josie Oak says that it wasn't him near the Wanderers. He's in Hyde Park, and being slights is something he's never been accused of.
Okay, good. Because I was, if I had been driving, I would have absolutely stopped the car and asked this chap if it was Woy Woy Pom Pom. But he was a rather nervous-looking foreigner, I think. You know, when guys are like walking from the car train station with their rucksacks and so on, you had that sort of vaguely, I'm going to be mugged at any moment. Look about him. But what I was doing was I was teaching my son to drive, so I couldn't ask him to slam on anchors and start interrogating pedestrians. Right, we are finally going to see Maharaj, who has fielded for 2 full innings at least without having a bowl against Sri Lanka, and is now going to finally get a turn. So his mum will, I'm
If
sure,
you pardon the pun.
Oh, very good. He might get a turn.
That was very smart.
I don't think too many people have punned turning with Keshav Maharaj at any point.
The best pun we had was during the MSL. There's a Limpopo bowler called Cushy Mystery who bowls spin. So we were calling her a mystery spinner through all 3 days of it.
Cushy Mystery.
Played off the front foot and defended. So good bog standard start to Keshav's spell and no run. That one goes straight on as well. There's not a lot of turn happening for Keshav. It's like he's burning it on glass.
And if you want some Danadar tea, it'll cost you $15 for 32 ounces.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Have you been Googling?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Is that not an enormous price for tea? How much is 15 ounces?
like 600 grams.
That's a hell of a lot of tea as well.
$15.
Oh, this one drifts
No,
in,
15,
and it is
15.
given by Alim Dar. I think it might have been angling down leg a little bit. Is he going to ask for the review? The
I would.
timer is counting 12, 11, 10. Azim Ali seeming Azhar Ali not that keen, but yes, he has asked for the review now. And I just thought this might have been drifting leg side a little bit. We're going to have to see. It's going to hit him very, very low down on the front foot.
It's definitely going down leg side, if anything. We have a few tweets here from Umpo, your friendly sports guy, saying, Keshav, get in! And David Ridley says, Keshav Maharaj with the wickets late on day 1. That delivery sponsored by Fruit and Veg City. Hashtag plum brew.
Yeah, oh no. Looking at it now, yeah, I think that's
Plum.
I think who's in charge in danger here? It's Baba Azam, yeah. Let's have a look. It is pitching in line for sure, going on to impact in line, and heading halfway up leg. Good call there by umpire Alim Dar. He gets to shoot a batsman in his first ever test in Pakistan. And
Lads.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Let's just
Taylor's
keep it
just me
that
cheering on the wicket.
Oh, okay, cool, but David. And I'm sure one of you will give the numbers.
Yes,
Oh,
and you're
cool.
correct.
Well, I guess
I will be that one. Don't worry, bro. I got you. Baba Azam out for 7
What?
of 30 balls. I'll be
30
W
deliveries.
to
Oh, got him.
30. Oh, well, yes, there. We did it. Cool. Keshav Maharaj got him. I'll be W. You should have just said that you wanted to do it as a team.
Since you guys are like herding cats late in the day.
That's the youngsters.
It's
That's
not
the
even-
thing.
I guess it's late in the cricket day. It's only 2:30. We
Yeah,
shouldn't be like this.
Well, you see, because of the cloud about, I did say that it was sunny earlier, but it's got clouded back over. It definitely feels like it's 5-ish in Joburg as well. The news
Right.
from Durban
Ooh, it's
is
a night
that
watchman.
Omaima Sahel is out caught by Tasman Brits, and bowled by Shibi Ismail for 2. And so Pakistan women are 13 for 2. Yeah, you're quite right. The night watchman is in, Shaheen Afridi. And Aidan Markram there under the lid at short square leg. What informs, do you think, when they choose to have Markram in there and when they choose Themba Bavuma?
Perhaps whoever faced fewer deliveries, whoever has the fresher legs. I don't know.
Although it was Bavuma earlier before it was Peterson. Unless Bavuma hurt himself, that's possible.
I think it's the bowler. Maybe for
'cause it's
spin
a spinner,
bowlers they
you
have Aidan Markram, and for the pace bowlers they have Bavuma.
Do you think because
Maybe.
Markham is bigger, so there's a bigger target to hit?
Yeah,
Oh,
or at
outside the
least
off stump and prodded at by Shaheen, and it goes past the outside edge, and no run. Maharaj just checking with the umpire that he's got 2 balls remaining. You do indeed, sir.
And if you look at his haircut, he can fit that inside a normal hat if he tried.
if
To
we
be honest,
try.
his haircut looks like he's kept the hat on for 3 months, and then had someone just cut the bits that were leaking out.
He's literally like cut his head like a bull, like Mandark in Dexter's Labyrinth.
I'm sorry, but that looks like he cut it himself in the mirror. He comes in again, a wide outside. Ooh, there's a half an appeal by Quinton de Kock as that ball turned into the left-handed Shaheen Afridi. Good over there by Maharaj. So he's hasn't been damaged by not being used at all against the Sri Lankans. And he puts his ridiculously enormous cap back on and wanders off into the outfield to do some fielding.
I think they use Markram for the spinners because they're afraid that if they use Bavuma and it loops, it may just loop over him. So now that you have Aidan Markram, you won't have that problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
convinced.
that's-
I think maybe Markram is just fundamentally more expendable because you're more likely to get clouted if the spinners are.
Did you see Kushal Mendes getting hit over and over again in the England-Sri Lanka game?
Shame.
Oh man,
He was
that
getting
man has had
properly
a
battered.
tough time, dude. That man.
Yeah, he's not making very many runs either at the moment.
Yeah.
Right, so Nortje to bowl his 7th over on the trot. He's had a long session. Full ball and just defended into the onside. And they jog through for a single, and they're going to leave Shaheen to face a few from Nortje. Nortje will fancy himself here to maybe dig a couple into Shaheen's ribs and pick himself up a freebie wicket.
I think this is a poor decision from Azhar Ali to take that run. Shaheen Afridi shouldn't have to face the fast bowling of Nortje. I don't know if he'll last the over.
Although you certainly shouldn't get yourself into the situation where you're protecting the night watchman, because then what's the point?
Yeah,
That's true.
I don't know. Nokia Free doesn't seem like a good matchup to me.
No, I agree with you, and I think with 5 balls at him, he would back himself here.
And it does look a little bit dark as well. I don't know. They haven't mentioned anything about the light, but I don't know if Nokia fast bowler.
Oh, he's got him. There's a fuller ball right on in the block hole, and it just clips the off stump. And Shaheen Afridi was absolutely nowhere there. I think it was a bit of a double bluff. I think he was expecting some chin music, and Nortje just bowled this full delivery that's kept low and knocked back that off stump. and Afridi is going to leave the field of play, which leaves us with the always fascinating debate of who comes in.
What happens with
Yeah, another Night Watchman.
The Night Watchman goes, yeah.
I think
How many
more
Night
often than
Watchmen can you
not,
have before it gets ridiculous?
they tend to send out the next batsman more
They
often than
do,
not,
yeah.
just a proper batsman rather than another Night Watchman. But I wouldn't mind seeing that because I think Nokia could really dig his teeth into the tail if they let them out now.
They could indeed, yeah. Maybe get the tail out of the way nice and early. Afridi could have
Shaheen-
maybe done a better job there.
100%. Definitely could have got his bat in the way there. Shaheen Afridi's figures a duck of 4 balls bowled by Nokia. Yeah, that's it. That's sad to say.
And suddenly 27 for 4. Haven't seen ourselves in this position for a while. It's good.
Yeah, no,
Someone
it's,
was sorry. Someone tweeted earlier, Pakistan all out for 36, maybe, and then someone replied 35, and that's looking more and more likely all of a sudden.
Do I hear 34? No, I mean, I'm assuming that. The good news here is that this will certainly solve my human resources issues for the weekend if they get rolled early. But
we have a few tweets here. David Midley saying that dismissal of Afridi was sponsored by Blitz Firelighters.
So Forward Alam is the next batsman in, so they are resuming with usual usual service. He's 35 years of age, has an average of 33.
That's not bad.
And an exceptional moustache. He looks like a man who could wax his moustache, but chooses not to.
But we spoke about him for ages before he was in the side. The fact that Fawad Alam has some of the best domestic numbers. 33 is an okay test average, but his first class average is 56.
I thought you were going to say something about his facial hair for real. I thought you've been scoping that facial hair for a long time, dude.
Great moustache, but also averages 56 in first class matches. So
that is mad. Oh man, that is not a moustache. That is a beard. Whoa!
But the moustache on top of the beard as well.
Yeah, like a proper. What do you call that? Sorry, Simon.
So he starts off his innings with that very, very side-on or forward stance of his that then has the trigger movement that brings him right the way round to a more conventional stance. And this one, he just lets hit himself on the thigh pad and no run.
We have a tweet here from Ravi saying it's quite dark here in Bombay. Whoa! So I can't imagine it must be brighter in Karachi. Sorry, I just got like 2 more tweets as I was reading the one tweet. Keep those tweets coming in.
He tucks this one off his hips and they jog through for a single and no run. I mean, it's dark in Bombay because it's nighttime, isn't it? What time is it in Bombay?
I think they're 3.5 hours ahead of us. I'll have a look.
Okay.
I know it's a half time zone. It's out of sync. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock there at the moment.
Okay, so and it's winter as well, so it's going to be.
I'll check the sunset time there as well.
While you're checking things, won't you tell us what latitude they are, so that we can?
It's sunset only at 8:30. Latitude of Mumbai.
Yeah.
6 rather. So they've still got half an hour before sunset, apparently.
6 in winter. Geez, so they must be very tropical then. This is turned into the onside, and they're going to jog through for a single. Pakistan now 29 for 4, I think. Yeah, 29 for 4. The
19 degrees north. Yeah.
Okay, so they are about the equivalent of Malawi to give folks an idea. So it's quite a long way further north than Johannesburg, where we're 26. I mean, further north than Johannesburg is south. But I mean,
is south, yeah.
Yeah, more tropical, in fact.
Otherwise, a very obvious comment.
You'd be surprised. As Nortje comes in to bowl the penultimate ball of his day and slapped away through the offside for 4. Is that the first 4 of the innings? I think it might be. I've been doing
Imran Butt got a 4. That's the second 4.
He did indeed. You're quite right.
Yeah.
He did indeed. Yeah.
That was quite a shot from Butt.
Yeah, it was a shorter ball outside the off stump, and it just sat up and waited to be hit by Nortje. The ball's not really rearing off a length here, and I think when he does pitch it in short, it looks incredibly innocuous.
True. And we've been seeing throughout this whole game that the bounce, there hasn't been much bounce to work with at all. Let alone variable bounce. Sometimes it did jag off like once or twice, but I mean, more often than not, it stays low.
Yeah, the most effective bouncer was that one to Linda because he made a bit of a ham of it and pulled it out to the sweeper on the leg side.
Right, so being clustered around the bat now for Keshav Maharaj to bowl the last. I think this is the last ball of the last over of the day, is it?
Yeah, it should be.
Over, yes.
Yeah, we've got Dean Elgar at first slip. Quinny obviously keeping. A man at a catching cover, very catching cover, sort of ridiculous mid-off, and a.
So now we have Bavuma and Markram under the lid.
And Markram.
Yeah. Markram on the leg side, Bavuma on the off, and there's a man at a catching mid-wicket as well who's currently working on the ball. And the first ball innocuously defended into the onside and no run. Keshav in again, left arm around the wicket and looking again for that same LBW that he got against Babar Azam, just looping it in, but defended into the onside, no run.
Another two from David Midgley saying,
I do like it.
Fielding positions for Keshav Maharaj, sponsored by Le Creuset, #POTS.
That's got to be Dave Midgley, but that makes no sense whatsoever. What does that mean?
I don't know. Is there some sort of pun with pots?
And we've got an especially French field.
I don't know. Defended into the offside. Dave Midgley is a connoisseur of, those really like cheesy comments that guys make.
Yeah. Maybe the only thing I can think is under the lid. Under the lid works for both. That's all I can think.
Under the lid. There it is.
Rolling stop in the covers and no run. That brings us to the last ball of the day. It will be Keshav Maharaj batting it to Azhar Ali, while the rest of us think about high value.
Whoa. Sorry about that. Anis Mohammed says, you talked about Alam's FC, first class average of 56 and struggling to make it into the side. None of South Africa's batters have an average of above 43, and Faf has an average of 39. Is that international average or is that first class average?
No, his international average is above 40, I think.
Yeah,
so maybe his first class average. I'll have a look.
I can't imagine that he gets particularly exercised for first class games that are not international games at the moment. I wonder when he last actually even played one. Right, so that is the end of the day.
First class average at 39.
It's been a busy day. South Africa was bowled out for 220 odd, and Pakistan, in reply, have lost 4 wickets. It's been a good day chatting to you chaps, part of our Guerrilla Cricket South Africa stable. Thank you very, very much to everyone who's been on air with us, and to Chris and to Chepo. Thanks so much, guys, as well. You guys stay well. And we will be back bright and shiny at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Enjoy your evening. Cheers, chaps.
Bye.